Yeah. What's up, bud? What?
Yeah. Yeah, bud. Yes. Mm. Yeah. Ooh, good boy. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Good boy. Yeah, sweet little thing. Man, my fucking brain is just all drained the fuck out. Hey, fucking. Ugh. Down here, bowl and all that shit. Tunes in what's been open on that shit. Oh. Ugh. Hmm. I think I'll save my bitch in here for later in a second. Don't really need that go on quite yet. Man, why do you make a mess of the fucking food all the time? Freshen up the fucking food bowl for him and spills half a damn kilo. I don't get that. I don't get the stuff sometimes. Let's see the bourbon you do. Hey, what's up? Fucking guy. Yeah, I'm done with the week. As a summary, that is my vibe. Fuck this week. Fuck this week. I'm just like done with it. Alright, fucking clothes are called in again. I literally like walked in, and just already knowing. I just already know. Fuck see her mid there, and that's it. I'm just like, let me guess, he called in again. It's like, yep, gonna be closing earlier than that, like 6 or something. I'm like, I just groaned and went just like, ugh. Went back, see, I go Rondo back there, and the first thing I say to him is just like, man, I'm getting sick of this shit. He's like, I know we all are, because we're all just like, all just fucking exhausted. Like at this point, my brain actually is not like properly working. Like there's been a lot of times where I've twisted my own fucking tongue today. Where I mean, luckily people understand what I'm saying, but It's just like one of those fucking days. Because I don't want to like pretty much make every day this week, me drinking. I'm not going to tonight, but oh God, do I fucking want to? Like a tall glass of just like some whiskey on ice. Honestly, that sounds like fucking great right now. Like a little shot of cherry brandy in it. Mm. And honestly, it's just like I know this is already like kind of for sure for some of us, but it's like if those fucking wages straight the fuck up did not come in, like not just me, but I know a lot of others are gonna be walking the fuck out, like straight up. And I'm gonna organize. I want to organize in a way where it's like, hey, if we do it, let's make it a fucking point. Let's, at least, for the first, couple days of us walking out, be outside and let it, kind of pick it, at the store, at least kind of make a point and let people know, like, yeah, this is, if you're wondering why there's like a mass exodus, well, we'll let you have a few days to kind of figure that out and realize that. And frankly, just bring the ultimatum. It's like, hey, you want us to go back in there and work? Then not this coming paycheck, this one, fucking give us the wages. And we want to, like somebody to confirm and look at that and see that it is actually fucking done. It's supposed to be game per paycheck. I actually got the contract right here. It's supposed to be for all purposes journey 1853. So basically 1850. Supposed to. In the old one, which is not even what the fuck I'm making, because for some reason I'm not journeyman, is 1620. Because for some reason I'm still a part of this other fucking, like, one of these old scheduled transition wages systems, which is at the 1435. Not fucking, what it should be, especially for journeyman. So I'm gonna find out what the fuck the like wages here are up top here, basically, and if I'm actually going to be making same as everyone else on this front, and if not, then I'm going to be, I especially will be fucking pissed and be wanting to know what the fuck is up with that. Because, I mean, frankly, at this point, it's been 5+ years since they've been fucking me with that one, and I've only really recently realizing that, as of like the past, well, frankly, probably like 4 or 5 fucking months now. It's just that because of either not be able to like have an appropriate, time meetup, with the fucking rep and shit to actually get the shit done. That's really the main thing. Because unfortunately, that's not, when it comes to trying to figure out that type of shit, there isn't exactly a consistent reliability thing with that, which is a little annoying. But at least I know when it comes to the actual like heads of the union, they're at least got fucking teeth, to an extent, because they are fine. I mean, the reason why they should at least be implemented for this fucking leaks because they filed a class action suit against the company. It's not even just ours, but it's also Albertsons too, like because they're tied in with fire contracts and shit. It's not bad, but personally, I've never had over 1,200 at most. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, that is bad. Like, I mean, nobody should be making that a month. It should be a lot more than that. Like, I don't mind having like a basic UBI being at like, I mean, as far as I'm fucking concerned, like have that bitch up at like 1,500, 18, fuck, $2,000 as far as like give a shit. Like, I mean, especially considering how much corporations are price gouging the fuck out of people. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's also just kind of another example of how like workers are able to be a little bit more competitive with their fucking labor and shit. Because I mean, if they're gonna keep doing this type of shit with that the company's doing, then they're gonna realize that they can only fuck their workers so much before they say fuck it back. And also, frankly, today it was just kind of like, I mean, there was, like, goddamn store manager was really, like, doing his little patrols for today. It happened to see us, for literally, like, maybe not even more than a fucking minute, just, like, sitting there like this for a second. Because, yeah, especially for the last, like, 2 or 3 days, all of us are fucking drained and tired because we're severely understaffed, and frankly, we just want to get the fuck out of there. And, he's just like, and apparently also this is like my mid who was just closing with me basically, uh, already like faced twice by this point. But he comes over, is like, well, yeah, hey, it looks like you're not doing anything, which in his mind, especially considering how much of a money grubbing capitalist fuck he is, he thinks, oh, workers standing around doing nothing, they shouldn't be paid because boo, they're lazy. I want them doing shit. So basically, he's making him face for a third fucking time for no goddamn reason when there's literally like 8,000 other things, that are like of a major priority considering that we're very understaffed. There's definitely an equal that probably coming in by fucking Monday, which means that's our health inspection. And the fucking thing he's worried about is facing. It's like I could give a. It's like, I mean, he came back after doing some, after he ran off. It's like, I've literally faced like 3 times. I don't know what the fuck he wants from me. It's like he's literally circle jerk and literally just find his fucking, coffers and shit, make it look like he's doing something and, looking like he cares about us and shit. He's just, jerking himself off more than anything. So basically, because of that, it's just, I mean, it didn't really like cut down on us, getting out anytime early or or anything like that. But it's just like it's a, it's just stupid. It's like apparently it's like, oh, things aren't properly faced, thus looks tacky, thus money out of my pocket, and workers aren't working, thus more money out of my pocket because I don't want to pay people not doing nothing because I'm a greedy capitalist. It's like I didn't know how his fucking mentality works with it. And it's all just circle jerking bullshit. Shows common tactic. It is. Instead of outright firing people because they know corporations recognize that employees can actually get unemployment benefits more easily if they're fired versus quitting. If you quit, your job and shit, it's not as easy to get unemployment. If you get fired or laid off, it is. And they recognize that, so that's why they fuck you in every way till Sunday, and either wait until you quit or find something else, or you work multiple jobs and just hope for the best. It's just like, either way, you get fucked. It's just a common tactic to keep the working class under their dole, and just like keep them under their fucking heel. Same shit, different day. And of course, that, like, especially considering, like, the mass employment issues and people that even, are employed with their fucking issues of reliability, which kind of fucks their compatriots over, like me. And I can't even tell you how many fucking times I've been fucked over, like, when it comes to this closing shit, for as long as I've been there. I really can't even tell you how many fucking times. I've lost count. What, like fucking 30 plus, maybe? Of like, nights where closer calls in or some shit, and unless there's the good graces of the cook or the midship to stick around, to help us, help me at that point close up, it's just like, I mean, if I don't get that, I'm just fucked. But luckily, at least at this point, when it comes to this type of circumstances, I at least, have people that, want to make sure that I'm alright and set up, so, we at least, got, our strategy when it comes to this shit. Doesn't mean it's fun or anything I actually want to fucking do or deal with. But I'm just glad that at least tomorrow, my mid today is going to be my closer tomorrow, and he already told me, it's like, I will not call in on you, bro. I won't do this to you for a third time. It's like, thanks, man. I won't either. Like, I'm half tempted to, but I saw it closing, so I'm like, alright, I'm not going to do you like that. So I don't need you to get fucked just because I feel like saying fuck it. And that's because I actually give a shit. At least about, my other employees mainly. Because I don't want to fuck them over. Like, I mean, at least for me, that's where, like, a lot of my care when it comes to me working there really goes into. It's like, I mainly, want to try to minimize, fucking my coworkers over. It's definitely something that I don't like doing. So it's like, that's why I rarely ever call in. Because unless I really need to, I don't want to fuck them over like that. Because I know I at least do my fucking job and shit, and frankly, there's too many people that just don't. Or at least don't do it well enough. I dedicate myself to smoking only when my stepdad is either A, asleep during the night or when he's at work. Well, you might want to be careful when he's asleep because he might wake up randomly. If you can, try to order one of those little filters where they have like a scent, so you can find like some evergreen scent or something like that, where you smoke out of it. Obviously cut off the your hit and shit, and blow your hit out in one of those. It's supposed to like minimize the smoke and also change the smell from weed into whatever the hell the filter is. I remember seeing that a few years back, and it's kind of like a little stoner ingenuity when it comes to trying to hide it when you need to. I'm sure you can find one I'm talking about online if you look hard enough. Oh, maybe it might be one of your tobacco shops in town, if you got one. But I was just about to say something, but I'm not gonna rub it in. I don't want to do that. I was just about to say something, be like, at least this will be. I realized that was just gonna be me being a dick. I don't want to do that. I just hope this coming week is gonna be all right. Honestly, I'm wondering if I'm even gonna have energy for some of these bike rides that are gonna happen this weekend. Because I know Tuesday and Wednesday there's some bike rides that I want to go to and shit. But uh, honestly, just considering this last fucking week, I don't even know if I'll have the energy for it. I love tobacco shops somehow. They're basically weed shops about weed. I kind of figured. Before they recreationally legalized it in Montana, they basically had the same exact thing. In fact, outside of having like straight up like a marijuana leaf on their fucking shop, they essentially advertised themselves as a tobacco shop. I actually remember a long time back, I got this like tobacco wolf pipe. That was like a ceramic one, but honestly, I don't know where I did with that. I lost that like years back. It's honestly I know it's somewhere in his house still, so it's probably just like hiding in some sort of box or some shit. Also, weird things going on for your audio. You sound muted. That's probably why. I probably accidentally had the fucking mic all obscured. Did it? Yeah, I had the mic obscured. That was my bad. All right. Well, hopefully that fixed it. Damn, gone 18 minutes or something like that. Just all muted. Sounds better now. Yeah, it was just the mic is in a weird spot. It's like not totally on the corner of the phone, but almost. So I always have to like strategically place like this end of my phone like on its edge, while the other side I can put wherever the fuck. I mean, it's a little tricky sometimes. Because every now and then it might slide off, and then suddenly you get like the shing and fucking phone flying and shit, and that's always very loud and annoying and ear rape, and obviously no one likes that. So it's like it's a balance sometimes. I've kind of got it down, but proves my fucking energy levels right now, my proficiency. It's not exactly 100%. Usually I'm pretty good about making sure it doesn't happen like that. But whatever. I'm kind of like a zero fucks given mood now at this point. Frankly, actually, I need to. I mean, considering like this fucking work shit, I'm actually gonna like next when I go up there, I'm actually gonna kind of write on like some sort of cardboard thing and be like, just kind of go around to different people, especially ones that I can kind of trust a little. But I could see about maybe writing, seeing if like people are willing to like sign a walkout petition. Be like, hey, if this coming Thursday we don't get the wages shit, want to walk out basically like right on Friday on the dot, like at a very specific time we all just drop our shit, make sure things are turned off and not like obviously fucking just just randomly running or whatever the fuck, but just just like kind of do rapid close, don't even bother cleaning shit and just walk right out and just say fuck it, give us our goddamn wages or we're not working. But I'll have to be very quiet about it. And it have to be quick. Probably have to do it on one of my days off, honestly. It'd be a lot easier to get away with it. Because I can hang out there for most of the day, no one's going to give a shit. Like, hang out in the break room, people come and go all the time. And because of that, depending on who's in there, they'd be like, hey, I want to chat with you something real quick. Well, privately. Want to walk outside? Smoke a cig? Like, I'll use that as an excuse. If, like, one manager's in there, it's like, want to smoke a cig with me? It's like, oh, I don't. It's like, oh, well, want to come out with me anyway? So, offer a little wink and be like, and it's like, okay. It's like, and just, want them outside, like, look, I don't smoke, I don't give a shit. I actually just want to ask you something that I don't want a manager to hear. Because straight up, like, I want to make sure if it's done right when it comes to walking out. Like, if it's just like one department or a couple people, they ain't gonna do shit. They ain't gonna listen. They're gonna be like, oh, fuck off. We're gonna call the cops and, for trespassing, get the fuck off property or terminated. They're gonna do shit like that. That's me enough people. Truck drive old world blues to grab at the SCRS complex section. In order to get Delirium, what you have to fire the right events. Huh. Gotta get the 5 states of the NCR to vote for the candidate you want. You have to do this through different events and focus 3 things. Huh. Interesting. So kind of a complex, like, democratic type of system, huh? I realize it's probably dull without any of that. Oh. Well, something for the seriously? Call and media audio?
Let's turn that off, that's probably why. That's probably why. Don't need that. You have 3 choices: intellectual Hayes, Buchanan President Kimball, or separatist Murphy. Murphy, huh? Whoa, there we go. Jesus fucking Christ. Whoops. Each one represents the party. Well, I figured. Brain, wake up. You're fucking not at work anymore. You can relax now, brain. Jesus. No. I guess it's kind of hard to do that when it's basically been, like, quite literally overworked and underpaid at this point. It's not just, like, oh, well, we're just, kind of, not gonna just implement it. It's just like, nah, we're gonna implement it because we just want to steal your wages as much as possible before we fucking implement your contract. Fuck you. And amongst other fuckity shit. I still at least feel pretty vindicated knowing that my assumption was right about it. It's like, because before I was thinking, oh, they're probably doing it to drag it on as long as possible to the deadline or even past that, and fucking, you know, just try to scalp as much of, you know, the profits as possible before that happens. And, you know, essentially, no, if they have to do a little pay, you know, like back pay and shit like that, that's not a big deal to them because they ran away from most of the profit, you know, when they did that anyway. Like, taking a little cut out of it, you know, for some of the back pay and shit, it's not a big deal to them. Because they still made, like, you know, probably, yeah, because overall, they probably only would, you know, be taking, like, maybe a third of their profits out, you know, to do shit like that. So, honestly, all in all, it's kind of a go fucking figure. Just another form of price gouging shit, considering that, you know, our company also is just, like, it gouged the wages so much to the point where it's, like, people don't really come in, you know, outside of maybe getting, like, big-ass fucking dinners and meals and shit on, like, the days those are on sale, but that's pretty much about it. People get, like, things here and there a little bit, but not that much. Boneyard separatists. I kind of get an idea about what maybe like Kimball and you know, and Hayes are about, but I know nothing about Murphy or this Boneyard separatism shit. I'm assuming like some lore that I just haven't, either I don't remember or, you know, just haven't explored before yet about the NCR. All in all, I mean, considering how, like, the U.S. is today in a lot of ways, I mean, or even historically and shit, it doesn't surprise me that even the NCR has, like, a oppositional, like, separatist type of party. On top of a nationalist one. I suppose these days, you know, both parties are pretty nationalist. You think LA should secede from the NCR? Huh. What good would that do for the Boneyard? Well, I guess modern day LA. I guess I'd suppose I have to see the lore about it. LA's known as Boneyard. Yeah, I know. I know that much. I know that the Boneyard is former Los Angeles. But beyond, you know, I'm guessing just because it's, you know, by this, you know, by the point where the NCR is, like, you know, expanded the way it has. I mean, especially at least by New Vegas's timeline. I imagine the Boneyard or LA would have probably been remodernized or at least, you know, refigured into a point where it could be self-sustaining. But I mean, I don't know. I just, yeah, at that point, it's like, what benefit would that do? You basically be isolated. Ties to the Brotherhood. Oh, so he has at least some allies potentially. Good to have an ally like that. Shukov, come here, boy. Spark Fox Street is all about making islands where Kimball and Hayes are best securing California for forests. Ah. You don't need something that to give me a little happy vibe. That's nice. Raccoons are socialist propaganda. What the fuck? Raccoons doing raccoon propaganda. An actual quote. Oh my god. Okay, after the song, we definitely gotta check that out. That sounds funny. Raccoons, dude. What the fuck? I'm trying to like wonder like where how this gets brought up, like raccoon propaganda. What? Because raccoons are cute. Did somebody in his son's chat unironically be like, raccoons aren't cute, they're fucking like blah blah blah. Sure, oh my god, bro. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily fuck with a raccoon. They actually can be aggressive, but they are cute. At least around here, they tend to be pretty chill. Like, raccoons around here actually tend to be more skittish more than anything. Possums are actually the ones that, while I guess to a lot of people look ugly, I don't see that. I think possums are fucking cute as hell. They are adorable. But honestly, possums, like, they're non-aggressive. Like, you can, like, if one doesn't run away from you immediately and you walk up to it and it kind of does that little, you know, like, hissy shit at you, like, I mean, it won't bite you or anything. They just have a temperament. Like, they're pretty temperamental, but all in all, like, I mean, they're not gonna actually get attacked. Unless it outright feels like it's about to die or some shit, like, it will probably then. But realistically, they're not gonna hurt you. And also, they're rabies resistant. Like, their body temperature is too low, so rabies doesn't develop in their body. They can't survive in it, because the temperature is not suitable for it. So, they're actually pretty clean animals, too. So, honestly, like, I mean, despite them looking kind of gross, I guess, or whatever the fuck, but who gives a shit? I mean, possums are really fucking cute. Here, let's check this out.
An AR-15 is a gun of choice for killing raccoons before they get to our chickens.
What the fuck?
A gun of choice for killing a fox. It is a
gun of choice for killing our children. I mean,
gun of choice for killing a fox, killing a raccoon, killing our children.
Of course.
Raccoons are pro Taylor. Hold on, we gotta read this back. Hold on.
Killing Colorado. An AR-15 is a gun of choice for killing raccoons before they get to our chickens. It is a gun of choice for killing a fox. It is a
gun of choice for killing our children. I mean,
Alright, I can already tell you right now, as someone who actually knows a thing or two about some firearms and stuff, you do not need a fucking goddamn 5.56 or 2.23 to take out a goddamn raccoon or a fox. Like, literally a 22 or a 9mm, and even then, like, birdshot. Like, birdshot, bro. Like, what the fuck? That's straight overkill. Like, that's some overkill shit, my dude.
I meant, you know, the children of raccoons, of course. What? What did you make? Mom, you can't just drop a bowl in here and walk away?
A singular 7.62 with deal for coyote. Yeah, because that's overkill. You don't need a single 7.62. Like, a 9 will be fine. Or like a 40 or like a 38. Like, I mean, you don't really need a high caliber for, like, animals smaller than a wolf.
Thank you. That's fire.
I mean, unless you're dealing with, like, a cougar or a bear, like, I mean, you don't really need anything higher than, like, 44. And even then, like, you know, like, 44 is overkill, like, depending on what you're trying to hunt or deal with. I mean, it's like, honestly, you only really need a pistol cartridge. I mean, but, like, anything, like, you know, like I said, like, cougars, bears, shit like that, I mean, you probably want a high caliber, because, yeah, you want to make sure it's put the fuck down if it's going to attack you. I mean, so, yeah, like, I mean, I can see it there, but not for, like, some fucking raccoon or some shit, or, like, even a goddamn coyote.
Control predators on your ranch, on your...
By the way, you can, like, fucking shoot at raccoons with like a BB gun. You can certainly shoot at raccoons with a 22.
Yeah, you could do it with an air rifle. Like, you know, one of those, like, pump air rifles. You pump it to, like, the most insane, like, pressure where it actually could, like, penetrate skin and fucking, like, actually fuck your shit up a little bit. You can use one of those, like... They're a small little, like, stringy flesh thing that's all furry and cute, which why you would want to hurt and harm that thing, I don't know why, unless it has rabies, and I can understand why you want to put it down, because, you know, rabies animal isn't fun. Unless it's a possum, then you're not likely. Like, it's very, very rare for a possum to get that. So if anyone just, does that to possums, they can truly fuck themselves.
Do not need a fucking AR-15, dude. What the fuck? What is he trying to, like, explode the raccoon with an AR-15?
Explode the raccoon, dude. It's like, yeah, that raccoon's got a ball tannerite. Let me shoot that son of a bitch.
It's my gun choice for
my gun of choice
when I shoot at them.
I just want to see that raccoon become furry mist.
Yeah, I like to explode. I like to watch the raccoons go boom when you shoot them with an AR-15.
Boom, baby, that's right, America.
Your property. The idea that somehow we're going to deny access to, I think there are 20 million AR-15s in circulation in this
Oh my fucking gosh, shut the fuck up.
It makes absolutely no sense. In rural Colorado.
That's so funny.
Rural Colorado, bro. I tell you what, brother. It's like, guess what? In rural Colorado, I guarantee you most farmhands, if they're dealing with fucking raccoons and shit like that, they got their Ruger 22. Or their fucking, like, Mossberg shotgun or some shit. Like, I mean, they're not using their fucking AR. Like, that's the thing they take out if they're like, Uncle Fudd and, Jim Bob Thornton to fucking, go out there and, plink some beer cans and shit. Like, I mean, that's what they're using the fucking ARs for. They ain't using it to fucking deal with no goddamn raccoon. Like, Jesus Christ, my dude. Oh my God. I mean, even I wouldn't do that. Like, if anything, I would just run it off and just, like, every time it comes back, just keep doing it and eventually get the hint. I mean, it's like, because honestly, unless I have to, like, I don't really need, just not really need to shoot the thing. I mean, I would, unconditionally if it was straight up having rabies and I know the signs of what that looks like, so if I saw that, like, I'd be like, oh man, damn, fucking poor thing, alright, making this quick. Because, I mean, at that point, you're legit just doing, the animal less effective rabies a favor at that rate, like, just dead ass. So, I mean, it's like, there's, like, it's to a certain degree, it's just like, I could see it, but, like, God, it's overkill, man. The fucking AR is just so goddamn overkill.
Why? This person is just lying.
Yeah, whoever this chuckle fucking, like, potato-headed, like, weirdo that looks like he's, like, in some weird dark room being interrogated or some shit, like, I mean, straight up, bro, like, no motherfucker in, like, any rural area is using an AR-15 to deal with a fucking raccoon, just straight up. Straight up.
For, like, most of the people that actually fucking kill raccoons on their farms and shit, they're probably not even using the AR-15, okay? It's so dumb. Shut the fuck up. Why do they just lie all the time? I think they just assume that no one knows anything about guns.
Honestly, that's probably it. They just assume that, like, oh, those Democrat libs don't know a thing or two about guns, so we can just say whatever the fuck we want. And they'll just assume it's true. It's like, no. There's plenty of us out there that know what the fuck we're talking about, and you don't, dumb shit. Like, you weird potato head. Whoever that Colorado schmuck Republican fuck was. Like, I mean... for real. Like, no one uses fucking ARs to deal with foxes or raccoons. That's insane. Like, unless you're just straight up, like, somebody that at this point probably shouldn't even have it in the first place. That's just like, yeah, I'm gonna use the biggest gun to deal with everything. Like, and just, like, get the, like, big-ass AR of, like, some fucking crazy-ass, like, insane explosive rounds or some shit and fucking, like, deal with raccoons. So at that point, you probably don't even deserve it. You probably didn't deserve that fucking thing in the first place, because at that point, it says more about you than anything. It's like, jeez. Like, you don't need that shit.
It is kind of true. So they're just like, yeah, I need an AR-15 to light up my cigarette. What the fuck do you mean? It's got a lot of practical utility. That's why I use it as my gun of choice when it comes down to fucking defending my home, defending my property. It's like, no, you would never do that. Like, why would you?
I need to use my AR-15 to light a cigarette. So you just take the flash hider off that damn thing, you just unthread the flash hider and just shoot one around the air, and the fucking, fire of the gases and stuff will light your cigarette for you. Don't mind the fucking burns and the singes and all that shit that's gonna be hitting you in the face as, that bullet starts, flying away into who knows the fuck where, because you just shot in the air. But, don't mind that shit. I mean, lit your cigarette, though.
too.
How the
Yeah,
fuck do you light a cigarette with a gun? I don't know. I just went Occam's razor and thought, like, hey, sometimes there's a big little fireball at the end of a gun when you shoot out of it, mainly if you don't have a flash hider. So I just kind of assume that that's probably how you do it. Just like get it right up close to that barrel and just let the straight heat of the gas and shit just light it for you. But why would like it? Oh my god. I'm just trying to see that actually be in place, and Jesus Christ, I'm already seeing an accident just waiting to happen. And I swear to God, if like anyone has actually attempted that, I really want to like severely Minecraft them with physical force. Not when they're like redacted, but just, you know, to where they at least learn their lesson not to do that again, you know? Just like, you know, just kind of a good old slap around, you know what I mean?
Using it to blow up raccoons, dude. That's what I'm saying. Throwing your house cat at it, you don't need an AR-15. Someone in the chat said one of the most like white trash things I've ever heard, and I respect them for it. Someone said you could kill a raccoon by putting a soap in a sock and bashing them with it. And that is straight up the absolute fucking most white trash thing I've ever heard, bro.
Damn, honestly, that really does sound like some straight white trash shit. Oh my god. Yo, what the fuck?
We're here, 22 cal.
I'm so white trash, I can't afford a gun, so I just put soap in the sock.
Yeah, I just like, why would you go and fucking purchase an AR-15 and like shoot raccoons with a 5.56 bullets?
You know why? It's so unnecessary.
Raccoons out of our mango trees and we just use birdshot? Yeah.
Oh wow, someone proved my point from earlier. It's like you literally don't need anything more than like a 22 or birdshot or some shit. Like, I mean, anything beyond that is just seriously unnecessary. And even then, why would you shoot fucking raccoons? They're adorable, and they're mostly scavengers. Like, they're not really gonna fuck with you unless you fuck with them. It's like, what the fuck?
Alfonso with the straight, like, incredible, dude. You can kill a raccoon with a soap and a sock. Omega lol, you don't need a gun.
Damn.
Razzler T16. Yeah, why don't you need a... Like, I feel like you can make that argument for even RPGs, you know what I mean? Like, actually, sir, I tactically need my rocket-propelled grenade launcher to kill these raccoons in my farm. Like, make that argument, too. Fuck it, YOLO. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They're gonna start doing
No, they're gonna do it. No, it's too late. Too late. Cat's out of the box. Or back block. What did I even just say? I don't even know. Cat's out of the bag. My brain's out of my head now at this point, I guess, but whatever. But, Jesus. I mean, straight up, like, there's some motherfuckers that actually would be like that. It's like, hey, I have a right to own, you know, the RPG-7 and also have, you know, the armor-piercing explosive rocket-propelled launcher, you know, the grenades that go along with it, and the, you know, ability to have a drone. And, you know, a 152mm howitzer. It's just like, yeah, what? It's like a little overkill there, bro.
America is so incredibly fucked that, like, anytime I make a joke, I feel like if RPGs were in mass circulation somehow for some fucking weird reason, you know they want to fucking bring back, like, grenade launchers.
Those aren't new coils. Those are the same ones that have been in here.
Nice.
So what are you listening to?
Raccoon propaganda. Like, some weird rural Colorado schmuck fuck was just like, here, rural Colorado, us, you know, and their farmers out here, you know, to deal with raccoons, you know, going after our chickens or some such shit. You know, it's just like, we use AR-15. It's just like, that will basically explode a raccoon. It's just like, it's so unnecessary. It's like, it's like, and also it's just like, when AR-15 is, you know, what we use for foxes and stuff. It's like, oh my fucking god. It's like, not exactly. I mean,
Well played start with the 17 HMR.
so that even that would be a little like overkill and shit.
17 HMR is this big.
Oh, it's one of the smaller. Oh, okay.
The 17 HMR is basically just like a 22, but it's got a point on the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it looks like your bullets,
But just
but in
short.
a 22, and it looks like a 22 code.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's called a 17 HMR.
Oh, okay.
I wanted one for the longest time because they're just... They're the perfect... I mean, 22 and 17 are basically good for
Like varmint.
varmints.
Yeah.
They're basically. What I've heard is that 22s are really capable. You can find them everywhere.
It's like a plink round. Like,
You can go out and freaking buy a brick of fucking 525 rounds for like $40.
yeah, they're hell, yeah.
But you can also get 30 round clips.
I mean, you get all
There
sorts
you
of
can
shit.
get-
Like, you can get a Ruger 22 as a base, and you can just build it for the fuck up into, like, you know, whatever the hell you want, basically.
I tried the Ruger 1022s. They're freaking amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome,
And
yeah.
they feed perfect. I would never buy a Remington at all.
Yeah.
Remington freaking sucks. My buddy had one. We had a banana clip and it freaking jammed. It would be like 10 rounds. I'm like, yeah, screw this.
Yeah, no, seriously.
What are you doing to my wood? Stop!
Yeah, you might find a few over there.
You motherfucker, quit!
Why do you keep doing that?
You little shithead.
What, you think I'm gonna rub that belly? Yeah, he can do it with his foot.
Fucking farm. Yeah, you're gonna kill varmint that are like trying to kill your your livestock, your chicken,
Well,
shit like that.
I mean-
That's understandable. That's a normal part of the process. I just think that it's
overkill, what I
it's
would be doing
ridiculous
is I
to
would
say that
be
you're
doing
using an AR-15 to do this because you're not.
AR-15 for hogs.
Varmint.
And
Well, yeah, like, that makes sense.
well, I do hogs and coyotes.
Yeah.
Use an AR.
I mean, even for coyotes, you wouldn't necessarily need an AR. I mean,
Hey, would. Let's fuck around.
if they're not, like, outright running and shit, and with
Oh,
a
no, they're
pistol.
like 300 yards out because they don't come that close to you.
Yeah, well, I guess right
And
now.
you want to be able to touch it, right?
The argument he's making can be used for bolt-action rifles. With, with wild hogs and shit like that. I mean, if you have, like,
AR's a big enough round to stop them.
well, yeah, technically a lot of bolt-action rifles are actually high calibers than ARs, too. Like, a lot of them tend to be, like, either 7.62, 51, or 308s, 30-06, shit like that, which, I mean, I think outside of...
Even yours could be used for hogs.
Oh, yeah, easily, yeah.
But I would rather use 300 Win Mag.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
You gotta remember that just...
And also, they are, thick animals, so...
The caliber and the penetration...
And also, they run, like, especially in Texas and shit. I've seen some clips where there will be, like, a whole, like, herd of them, and they can fucking run,
Oh, yeah.
know? So, it's like, that's why sometimes they'll be in helicopters and shit, because, and they'll rent those out, because... straight up, there'll be so fucking many of them, wrecking their shit up, and, and so they need something like an AR for, like, one of those, like a high-capacity magazine to, like, just be up there and just kind of start just taking shots until enough of them scurry off.
We also gotta remember this, too, is that farmers don't like them. So
That's what I
farmers
mean.
they... Not the helicopter round. But they do it where there's a guy that I watched, his name's Mullet Man.
I know they
On
also,
YouTube.
because, I know at least with some of my family out of Texas, they have the same problem with hogs and shit. Not, like, obviously to such a severe problem where there's literally fucking everywhere, but they usually will trap them and get their trailer and release them elsewhere and shit. That's usually what they do for the most part, but they'll hunt a few of them.
I mean, wild hog.
They'll hunt a few of them if it gets really out of control, but they have a bunch of traps everywhere.
But basically saying wild hog tastes better
I'm sorry, keep interrupting you.
Wild hog tastes better than store-bought.
Oh, I bet. That's why, like I was saying, sometimes my family, if they get really out of control, they'll hunt them and, eat them. So, for a bolt action, nothing like pulling that wonderful bolt back. Yeah. I want to get one of those straight pull bolts, like, too. Like, I want to get one of each. Like, I'd get Mosin for the full bolt, and, I want to get the Gravera 98 for that pullback. For the straight pull.
You would have to find that at a...
Others. Yeah, I know.
You would have to actually go to a gun store to actually get.
Yeah, I know.
Stop!
It'll have to be, I know, I remember one time, at least the Cabela's its way out on the other side of town. I remember at least when I went there, that one. When I went...
That's what you got to come up with. If you want a decent...
Well, when I was up there, like, pretty much, this is also years back, so prices are obviously different now, but at least at that time, like, the Gravera 98s that were the straight pullbacks, it did have those, and the most expensive one I saw there was, like, $399, so basically $400. And also, they has a bunch of Mosins, varying in quality, and I think their most expensive one was like $250, I think.
I want a Mosin for some ungodly fucking reason.
I mean, it's just a really nice, slick rifle. Honestly, it's just a really nicely designed looking.
I just want a big ass fucking sniper rifle. That's all I want.
Well, I think to get the sniper variant, those are a little bit more harder to come by in comparison to just the regular. Yeah,
They're
so
expensive as fuck. But
yeah,
they're you can find them, but they're expensive as fuck.
yeah. I know there's like a way to probably like mod,
If
you
I
know,
was
regular
spending the
one,
money to
but
get a Mosin off, you know what I'd rather just do? Spend the extra $1,000 to freaking I just get a bird after that.
Yeah.
Fucking touch somebody 2 miles out, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
But the really tiny
Wild Hogs, terrible movie with Tim Allen. Don't remind me of that.
What?
Wild Hogs, the movie.
Oh, it's stupid.
God. When I was a kid, for some reason, I liked it, but as an adult, it's just so fucking hot garbage. I regret at any point in my life actually having some weird interest in likening to that film.
Oh, did I tell you I finally made a compromise with my girlfriend?
Oh yeah, I think so.
With
Yeah.
an AR?
Yeah. You told me that. Yeah.
She won't let me get a crotch rocket because I can kill myself.
Well, it's true.
And if I get my rifle, we can go shooting.
Yeah, and also, did I tell you I ordered like a little bikini rail for the rear sight? Yeah, I told you about that.
Well, it's also one of those things you can shoot yours, and then you can shoot mine,
And then,
and then you can compare them.
well, are you gonna shoot mine one of these times too? Are you actually gonna? Yeah, I keep inviting you. I know you want your own.
Keep on inviting me, but you also gotta remember I have to go to work this day, and you guys get it home at like 8:00, and I'm trying to go to bed.
That's why that's why we're working out a time frame about it, but because I know
But this is the thing. Your dad.
I know it's ridiculous sometimes.
No, I just don't want to go if he's been fucking drinking. I don't get in a car with anybody who's been drinking. I'm sorry. It's just my mom has been through so much shit that I'm not gonna put her through that.
But yeah,
Again.
as a kid, I loved the Santa Claus movies.
She can go all the way? She can go all the way?
All the way.
She can go all the way?
Oh,
Are they talking about Tim Allen Christmas movie?
I think the Tim Allen ones. I mean, the first one, honestly, like, at least had a kind of a cool I mean, well, the first one's basically like, you know, if Santa Claus dies, and whoever kills Santa Claus basically becomes Santa Claus.
I'm like, what the fuck is
You know, so essentially the premise is, you know, whoever finds Santa Claus dead or kills him, they become Santa Claus. I like the premise of it. It's actually kind of fucking badass, but...
Are those movies called Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just called Santa Claus, yeah. Right here.
I need a javelin to kill these varmint.
A javelin? I need a goddamn javelin missile and a predator drone to deal with these goddamn varmints that are infesting my farm, damn it.
These slickers don't understand. I need me.
I mean, yeah.
Hand pad. Okay?
What about
Fire and forget, baby.
spear hunting?
You know what I'm talking
Well,
about?
that's spear hunting.
Sometimes the average ripcord injury, yeah. Sometimes varmint are coming down my factory, or not my factory, my farm, and they got them. They're pushing Z, folks.
You know what I'd do? But it'd be fucking ridiculous.
That's right.
Tannerite.
I want Tannerite.
They're coming down, and I need the Bayraktar to make sure I sick the might of the Turkish engineering on these fucking raccoons.
Oh, these raccoons.
It's fun.
Hey, I'm a French farmer, and we absolutely don't need this kind of weapon
so
to
cute,
farm.
though.
Yeah, y'all are pussies. That's why.
Why are you looking at me like that? They're cute.
No. Cute is what you feed out in the yard.
Like the episode of Love, Death, and Robots? Yeah, I was actually thinking about that as well.
There's raccoons around here. I feed them.
Anyway, raccoons are pretty cute, too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I do them, too. Possums, if they come around, too. Possums especially, because they're
Brother,
super chill.
I am trying to desperately get my fucking...
Well, even then, they're not going to, like, outright bite you or attack you. They're not super aggressive. They just do a lot of hissing and shit at you.
Milk tea poppy.
I've gotten really close to them before, and to the point where I could, walk up and pet them if I wanted to, but I don't want to, like, fuck with them too hard.
There's this guy who actually has possums and raccoons.
Aw.
When I did the offline TV video, this dude, like, does food stuff, right, on TikTok? Why didn't you come up as live for me? I don't know, dude. Listen, bro, these guys are all going to South Korea. I'm trying to go to the Democratic People's Republic, okay? That's why.
Trying to get my passport, just so I can go to
look at how
North
cute
Korea.
raccoons are, real quick. Look at this raccoon eating grapes with his little hands.
Oh my god, look at this little sweet thing. Some sweet baby right there. Just a little fat little boy.
You know we need.
What did you do?
Yeah, the otters are around here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the river otters.
Yeah, river otters.
They make funny noises.
I know. Oh, look at that little guy, so cute. Nutrias are pretty cool too. They're not nutrias. They're not
big fucking rats. That's all they are.
pretty much. I mean, they're not that slim, but they're not like native here at all. They're technically invasive, but yeah, they're technically. I mean, they don't necessarily do like any damage, but they're technically because they're a European species. They're not necessarily
raccoons.
Like a
Like
vomit.
this guy's offended. He's offended that I'm like, what are you like?
Wait, was I correct from when I first started this? Was someone actually offended to be like, now show one with rabies?
Rabies, brother. What the fuck?
Oh my god, I was right. Jesus Christ.
Anne?
Bro, this is some biased reporting about raccoons. You need to show one with rabies as much as one being cute and adorable eating grapes.
Raccoon. Yeah, that's it. Anne! Put chicken in this? I know what chicken is. Oh, trip out, mommy blossom. It's been.
The fuck did you just say? Let's be Turkish.
When did you make this?
You know what's funny?
When did you make it?
I went to Vancouver today. Because the guy I usually go to
Fine, then.
I noticed.
is the one that.
He started
Alright,
getting
we gotta
all
throw out the other
antsy
chicken,
when.
though.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My mom made me
No,
a
I went
bowl
to
with like
Vancouver today because I
quinoa
forgot how to clean
and
this. You can basically clean the clothes.
and
So
avocado
you don't have to keep on
and
replacing them.
Yeah.
I
Oh my
forgot
god, that
to do
little bowl of food looks amazing. It's got like some
stuff.
peppers,
Olives,
some olives in there. Ooh.
tomatoes, peppers,
It's peppers.
cucumbers.
I'd probably want to have the tomatoes in there, but oh my
Chicken.
god, everything else looks amazing. Oh god, that looks. Oh,
It's dank as fuck.
that does look indeed dank as fuck. Holy shit, would I want some right there? Is there any more raccoon propaganda? More raccoon propaganda, but it looks like not so much. There's only a minute left, so I'm assuming it's just him chatting with his little chatterites or whatever the chatters, however the fuck he calls them.
But no, that's the cool thing about these is that kit I showed you is to build my clothes.
Huh. Oh wait, there's another one. Copvales. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Fuck 12.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What the
fuck? Oh my god! Damn, bro! Damn, wow. I mean, I know they could be called pigs sometimes, but Jesus, that is quite literal. Oh my god, that, like, is that... Damn! You got, okay, you have to actually come over here to look and see this.
Oh my god!
Look at this traffic cop on a bike!
13, 14, 15.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Oh my god! Fuck 12.
Big,
13, 14, 15.
humongous. Oh my lord. Wow. The one time that Fat Shame is partially okay is when it's a
My
cop.
favorite. Footage from a few months ago of a DPD bomb squad near Dealey Plaza backing up and falling into a fountain.
What? Okay, okay, this is gonna be good. We gotta see this. Yay. Full screen. It's backing away.
Dude, I feel bad because they're the bomb squad. Like, this is like, they're doing something valuable. I don't think they're like killing dogs as much, but still.
Oh man. Okay, that was too good. That was funny. He just like he literally walked into it.
There's a bomb there, which they're gonna blow up. Probably, like they need to.
Yeah, just like a little briefcase, kind of suspiciously chilling
they're
there.
Worried that like it might accidentally fucking trigger. So that's the reason why, right? Doesn't he? Isn't he supposed to? Isn't that a fucking shield in his hand too?
Yeah. I gotta play it back.
Isn't that a fucking shield in his hand too?
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's just slowly walking out of that in shame like, damn.
Front, yeah.
I'm all soaking now.
Displacing water. Dude, that's so funny. That's awesome. I love this video, dude. Here, let's watch it again.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, oh my god, this is so good. Oh shit. He's like, oh my, he's just walking away. What is that? What the fuck? Why is that other guy just not in any protective gear, just charging and beeline to him? It's like, are you okay, brother? Brother, are you okay? Do we need to taste the water?
Dude, the other cop doesn't even have a fucking... The other cop doesn't even have protective armor. He just runs in. Dude, what?
He just runs.
What are you doing, dude?
What the fuck is this?
This is hilarious, dude.
Oh my god, man. They're not sending their best. They're not sending their brightest. Oh,
incredible.
fuck,
The
man.
gift that keeps on giving.
Oh god, bro.
Like, are you alright?
Oh, Jesus, I needed this.
Oh, dude, that's great. He ran faster to his hog friend than they ran to the shooter.
Oh. Goddamn, oh man, I needed that. Holy shit. Man, that was some qualityness right there. Oh. Oh man, that was some good laughs and some good goofs. Oh, I need some of that. Oh man, especially after this week, that was some niceness. That was some goodness right there. It's just like, he literally just walks into that and just fucking falls over in the fucking goddamn fountain, dude. It's just like, bro, you know it's there, you know it's right there, and you walk right into it. It's like, man. I mean, it's just like, they really must, like, just, you know, have dismantled anything that is related to, like, an academy and just straight up like, oh, well, you got an IQ of 90? Good, alright, welcome to the force, brother. I mean, because straight up, Jesus, how blind are you to not see a fucking big-ass fountain right there? Like, walking up to the damn thing. In this game, he basically plays the thing. Prototype? Oh, yeah, no, I know of Prototype. Yeah, I've heard of it. I think I played it a couple times before. The Thing. Oh, man. The laughs and the goofs. Ooh! Actually, I think saw a Kyle clip on this the other day, but I forgot to kind of go into it. But yo, the Humanist Report made a video of it, and I'm sure he's going to even be extra based. But there's a Fox host that's tries to emulate a progressive candidate and fails utterly miserable. Or miserably. Let's go, baby. I know you're going to like it.
A progressive congressional candidate went on Fox News with Jesse Waters, to be clear. And oftentimes, Jesse Waters will bring on lefties who he thinks he can humiliate. We saw this with the moderator from the anti-work subreddit, right? Where he brought them on and was making fun of them. And it wasn't the best interview, right? Admittedly so.
No, that honestly, frankly, that interview was shit because that kid straight up played him like a fucking, like... Jesse Waters played that kid like a fucking goddamn fiddle, and was too much of an idiot to realize it. Honestly, fuck that kid, as far as I'm concerned. Like, made it out the working class to look like a bunch of goddamn dupes and idiots, so fuck them.
Not the worst ever. It was just the random...
No, that was the worst thing I've seen in my... Okay, I'm... Mike, come on. Don't be this fucking, like, don't be this charitable. I know he likes to, but sometimes it irks me. It's bad that I might kind of say... No. I would absolutely let him, like, lumberjack bear dom me, you know, all day and night if you know, if he wasn't married and shit. He has a husband, so it's just like, damn, bro. But yes, he is indeed, like, he's like the sexy, nerdy lumberjack, you know what I mean? I mean, because, honestly, he lives in the same town as I do in PDX, and straight up, his aesthetic is essentially, like, kind of the standard Pacific Northwest vibe when it comes to, like, the glasses, the fucking beard. I mean, he's straight up, like, you know, the Pacific Northwest lumberjack aesthetic going on. Like, I mean, I can sniff that a mile away, and that is what he is indeed going. Especially when he's, you know, rocking the plaid. That's where it, like, pops the fuck out when he's rocking that plaid. And goddamn, it's just like, oh. I mean, it's just like, it's like, damn, bro. Oof.
Word, what?
Stop making me swoon sometimes, man. Okay, that look on his face is actually kind of fucking silly. I feel like he's judging me very harshly right now with that fucking look.
Trained to be on camera, but Jesse Waters wanted to showcase how insane this lefty was. So he's going to do this with congressional candidate Rebecca Parson. And in my opinion, it does not go as planned, because he's going to try to make a fool of her. But the thing about Rebecca and most progressive congressional candidates is she knows her shit.
Campaign ads keep getting more and more creative every year, and this year is no different. Democratic Socialist congressional candidate Rebecca Parson is running in Washington's 6th congressional district, and she recently made waves with this in-your-face ad. Take a look.
Billionaires tell us you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, that. Imagine propose a housing for all bill in Congress. Then imagine you...
Oh shit, dude, her ad has the fucking "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me" Rage Against the Machine in the background. It's the instrumental. Listen to it.
Friends took action and occupied empty houses nationwide.
Dude, this ad is based.
No one has ever done anything.
And honestly, is it censored or is it uncensored? Hold up. I actually, you know what, fuck it. I actually want to find out here. What's her name? Rebecca Parson. Oh, where is it? I know there has to be an ad somewhere. Where, here. Ad. Is there an ad? No? Where's the specific one? Is that it right there? Is it this one? Let's see if it's this one.
Parson and I'm a...
Nope, it's not. Oh, this is like a year ago. Damn. Wait, hold on. It's from the same YouTube, same team, looks like. Is it, Oh, I think this is it. This is it? Yeah, it is.
Warning this week that housing prices are becoming unhinged from fundamentals. The market's normal.
Oh, wow. They cut a lot out of that ad. Wow, they didn't even, they only played some of the peaks and the highlights of it. Here, let's watch the full thing.
You feel it. I feel it. We're on the edge of collapse. The corporate elite tell us not to worry. But what has doing what they told us ever gotten us? Another all-time high.
I love it.
I did what they told me. I went to college. I got a master's degree. I ended up living in my car. I did what they told me. Protests, letters, phone calls. Nothing changed. So I stopped doing what they told me. We occupied empty buildings and got 200 shelter beds added in our town. 200 people who didn't freeze to death. Billionaires tell us you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, fuck that. They will
Oh, it was uncensored. Yes, good.
be depressed and hopeless. No,
Curious how they're.
you should be angry and hopeful.
Oh my god, dude, this is the most based fucking ad. I'm giving this a like right now. And holy, wow, so curious how they are leaving out a lot out. You know, I know I know it's Fox News and they are gonna cleverly, make sure that shit's kept out, but God, this ad is based as fuck.
Housing for All bill in Congress. Then imagine you,
Dude, the
and
fucking
a million
song
of our
choice,
friends
the
took action.
aesthetic, the fucking, oh my god, this is like the most base fucking political ad I think I've seen ever, period. Like, fucking, what's his name, Charlie Chambers, I think his name is? Like, I think it's in Georgia? Like, honestly, he's gotta run for his money, like, for this shit, like, damn. Like, this is a based ad.
Empty houses nationwide. They couldn't ignore us. No one has ever done anything like this. That's why it's going to work. Are you ready?
Oh, what a great ad. God damn. Yeah, I want to see somebody come. Love. Oh, yes. That's one. Yeah, dude, man. See, this is a wow. Even on the political, like, shit right here. There's a goddamn fucking bot. Wow, I'm not even surprised. But oh my damn, that got me some fired up shit right there. Curious how Fox likes to leave a lot of that type of shit out. Like some of the beginning of it, telling her a little bit of her backstory and shit. Oh my god, that was probably unironically probably the best political ad I think I've seen so far. Like, just in general, like, oh my god. Damn, son. I mean, I'm forgetting to say, I know his last name is Chambers, but I think he's running for Senate, but like, man, low-key, he's got a run for his money. So when it comes to making some base political ads, because holy shit, that was amazing.
That's why it's going to work. Are you ready?
Parson says she's...
Okay, let me just pause it right there. So what she is advocating for in this ad is mass civil disobedience on a scale that Bernie Sanders talked about in the event he were to become president. Yeah, this is mega based. I love this. Because if you get to Congress and you kind of give up on the movement that got you elected, then you're not going to be very effective. But if you bring your movement to Congress with you, in the same way that Shama Sawant did in Seattle City Council, you could be unstoppable. And
honestly, last time I was in Seattle, the results of that are pretty prevalent. Like, when I was there, like, there straight up is actually, like, a kind of a chunk of Seattle that's straight up, like, a full-on leftist type of district and shit. Like, just straight up. Like, I mean, it definitely reflects, with that type of shit. And that's awesome, especially in my mind. So it's just like, if it can be shown, in little pockets around this fucking country, what's stopping it from being something more national? Because, Rebecca here, I mean, this, in a very positive way, this bad bitch is wanting to make that shit national and goddamn unleash the fire. Like, honestly, as far as I'm concerned with that. I mean, I'm just like loving her aesthetic and just like loving what she's got going on, honestly.
Encourage people to protest, do civil disobedience,
come here,
and take action. Make it so you can't be ignored. And this, to me, is based. But this little snowflake right here is triggered.
This little snowflake right here.
Triggered, and he thinks that this is bad, and he's going to use that incredibly good ad to try to make fun of her. Not going to go according to plan, though.
Actually occupied empty buildings before, like houses going into foreclosure, and she's instructed homeless people to occupy businesses too, like
based
the Life Motel in 2020, where they refused to leave or pay after the first night. Some of her other plans she wants to enact if she...
Okay, if you don't want them to do that, Jesse, what do you propose? Just let them continue to sleep on the streets?
I know what he probably thinks, and it honestly probably would deadass not even be safe for YouTube even. Because he's legit probably either borderline or probably just straight is fascistic when it comes to the idea of when it comes to homeless people. Round them up and put in camps, and after that, well, you kind of think about the rest of the way. Like, I mean, it's pretty much about as close as I can get to it, because, yeah, I mean, you know, they literally don't even see homeless people as, well, people. Like, they just see them as, like, less, probably in a lot of ways, lesser than a rat.
This is the thing. These conservatives will scoff at any recommendations from progressives when it comes to homelessness and the housing crisis.
No shit.
They'll scoff at everything. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But they never propose their own alternative solutions. And the reason for that
well, they do, but who says they're actually, like, you know, approved, you know, when it comes to decent society?
No,
not exactly approved.
Homeless people, you know, if they had their way, they just Thanos snapped them away. They don't acknowledge that these are human beings that, like all of us, need to be housed. It's a human right. Need to be fed. It is a human right. But they treat them as if they're feral animals, you know, a stray house cat. Just let them sleep on the streets. It really says a lot about them.
Are to raise the minimum wage to $30 an hour, abolish ICE, because the current immigration system is, quote, a combination of systemic racism, the prison industrial complex, and corporate greed.
True and based. Like, so far, nothing unbased.
She also wants to repeal federal laws that stop unlawful entry and re-entry of migrants.
Based.
And cash bail.
Based.
Okay, I wasn't sure what that referred to. If he was trying to make it seem as if, unlawful entry to homes, because I wasn't sure if he was going to...
Nah, he was meaning more so about, like, you know, illegal aliens or the illegal immigrants or whatever the fuck. He means that.
Wants people to be able to break into your home to scare the suburbanites, but of course that's not what she is advocating for, and her policy is a humane-based immigration policy. Hey, if you're seeking asylum, you can apply for asylum. And these are all good things, by the way.
But one-time cancellation of all student debt and pass the Green New Deal. Let's bring in the Democratic Socialist candidate for Congress, Rebecca Parson.
Now, real quick before it starts, I'm going to promise to try to not pause it as much, but
honestly, I'll do it really quick for myself, but I really like how she can, you know, look professional, but also look rugged and kind of like this, you know, gruff, you know, type of aesthetic, you know. I like how she can kind of, you know, be a chameleon that way, so she can make herself look more appealing, you know, in circumstances, because obviously they're trying to use a lot of things, you know, to smear her, but she's looking out here looking like she's, you know, like a middle school teacher or some shit right now, just, you know, but like an awesome badass, you know, middle school teacher that lets, like, the kids do awesome fucking projects and kind of fucks over the curriculum and is like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm gonna do my own thing. She just kind of looks like one of those type of teachers, because unironically, she kind of does look like at least a high school teacher that was straight up like that and would do her own thing. And also, I know at least one of my friends has caught her smoking weed during one of her breaks, during between classes and shit. So I, you know, like, she just kind of reminds me of like a teacher like that.
Socialist a lot, and he's trying to use this as a pejorative. But she doesn't take this as a pejorative. It's a good thing.
I can see what's fine with.
But he knows who his audience is. 85-year-old geriatrics who are watching and scoffing at the television. This socialist wants to take my house. Whoa! Shut the fuck up. Holy shit.
Okay, so any house, any structure, any building.
Yes,
you're saying
your house, Jesse. Your house in particular. Yes. We're going to take it.
Doesn't that seem a little dangerous?
No. I mean, to take Jesse Waters' house? Nah, sounds base. Sounds awesome. Honestly, imagine all the cocaine you could find in that house just stashed away in random places.
Well, I'm not calling on anybody to break the law. I'm just pointing out the fact that there are 600,000 homeless people in this country, 40,000 homeless veterans, and 1 in 5 homeless people are kids. Meanwhile, we have 28 empty homes.
I kind of like how she kind of added a little specificity about veterans and shit, too. Actually, I remember Kyle Kalinske making that point. And honestly, I think it's good. Like, she's not only just, you know, making an obviously very leftist point and not backing down whatsoever and not falling for his bullshit. She's also making some points that actually can, at least to some extent, at least to some of, you know, the audience potentially, you know, plant seeds of like, what, homeless veterans? Wait, what? Veterans homeless in this country? Goddamn, you know, that BA and this our government, you know, fucks our veterans over after they patriotically, like, you know, I definitely know there's definitely some conservative people who will, you know, hear that and be like, what? And suddenly their mind, you know, immediately goes into, you know, wanting to, you know, be fixated on how do I fix, you know, and help our veterans. Gotta support troops, you know, like, she's playing into that card a little bit. A little subtly, but nonetheless. I mean, and it's like, and honestly, when it comes to the whole idea of like, oh, lefties shouldn't, you know, be on platforms with right-wingers or whatever, fuck, it's like, if you know what you're doing, go for it, because honestly, it's about planting seeds, you know, in the people in the audience, not about the fucking host. Fuck the host. Like, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you could go in circles around them, and sometimes the host won't even fucking realize it, and if they do, they, you know, they're gonna have to change their tactic. And basically, it's like, well, how do I undermine them with some other ideas that they might be flabbergasted on? Oh, well, fuck, can't do that. What about this? Oh, well, shit, got me there. Well, what about this? Damn it. I mean, if you know what you're doing and know how to fucking at least, you know, hold your metal on it, shit, you can be able to, you know, run circles around the host and just, you know, plant some seeds and, you know, some people in the audience that could potentially be won over by the ideas. Because that's really the point about it. It's not really about, like, you know, seeing if the host, you know, gives a shit or not, because frankly, fuck Jesse Waters. You know, he's there specifically to try to, you know, do some tactics, you know, for the business. Like, he doesn't give a shit what she's talking about. But, you know, the audience, some people might. In fact, a lot of them will. Even if it's in a negative light. But just the fact that she's getting national recognition like this, you know, is also just a good thing, period.
So I'm calling on all of us to think about the empty homes that are owned by corporations like BlackRock, like Zillow, like the banks, that are owned by those companies, those large corporations, and not being used for what they're intended for, which is actually housing people.
Yeah, these mega corporations buy up these homes, they drive up the prices. They're the reason why we have a housing crisis, among other things, but they're one of the key drivers of these insane housing.
They're the main driver.
Prices, you know. So what she's saying here
is empty houses around here. Around here it's not as much, but yeah, actually there's been a lot of houses being built up, and a lot of them, yeah, at least right now, are empty just because they haven't been, you know, either rented or bought yet.
It's valuable.
Like, our town is more so expanding more than anything, so if there are any empty homes, they're getting quickly revenerated and bought up either by some, you know, random Airbnb mom and pop startup or landlord fucks, or, you know, that really probably don't know what the hell they're doing, or a bunch of real estate firms like what she's talking about, like, you know, Zillow, BlackRock, and, you know, these private banking companies and shit that, you know, own up all this shit.
Owns a house that's foreclosed.
Plenty of empty houses around here, just rot. I mean, and think about, like, such a massive public, you know, federal, you know, public jobs project to just, like, reinvigorate and, you know, like, revitalize all this housing and shit. Just seriously. Just, I mean, think about, you know, like, how much money it probably costs, you know, which is probably the equivalent of, like, the money we send to goddamn fucking Ukraine, like, every other week. And it all, you know, it's just also probably, you know, would take what, maybe maximum a year, because, you know, considering how many different, you know, people are, you know, kind of out there looking around at using their, you know, lack of employment as competitiveness, you know, to try to get better jobs and shit, to make companies offer up something a little better because of that type of shit. If, you know, unionization on the rise and, you know, collective organizing, labor organizing on the rise and shit, I mean, it's just like, it'd be perfect time than ever to, start doing shit like that. I mean, because honestly, I mean, like, I kind of, I mean, honestly, for good reason, brag about how our mayor was doing shit like that. I mean, now there's going to eventually be a special election for a new mayor just because he's moving up to the 41st seat representative in our state house. So, well, potentially, at least, he's in the nominee for that. But, I mean, considering that, it's just like, at least, I mean, he's kind of another example, a smaller one, and a little bit more of a reserved one, but kind of another example of, like, where direct action and a lot of, the organization, to get somebody like that, and also someone like Rebecca here, too, is how you get actual shit done. It's where you actually, are able to get, some legit progress and actually see something, develop and actually be, beneficial for your fucking community. I mean, despite even with the bullshit still going on, because there's still a lot of problems when it comes to affordability with rent and housing and shit. When it comes to that type of shit, it's still fucked. But at least, to some extent, there is, some changes that are for the positive. But at the same time, there's a lot of, there's still fucking a lot of negatives, including with some development that I discovered about, where, like, there's some toxic soil and shit that's being developed on, and they're also rapidly developing on it to where it's not even probably going to be sound infrastructure. So it's like there's definitely going to probably be some major issues. There's some bad shit that comes with that.
House is able to buy
Smoke
it.
some weed. I have been.
They can't buy it if there's a homeless person in there. What happens if they move in and some guy's just sleeping on the floor?
What?
Well, I'm calling on us to think about buildings that have been empty for a while, that are owned by corporations. You're not having a lot of buyers coming looking at them. They're just sitting empty, and there are a lot of houses like that, both in places like here in Washington State and across the country. And so I think that in the richest country on earth, we should not have anybody who's homeless living on this street, especially not 40,000 veterans, especially not 100.
Notice a lot of their, like, B-roll shit looks like a bunch of weird, like, disgusting, disheveled nonsense, where it's just all like, where, look at all this grossness and this rabble and all these, like, rats and, mice just wandering around all infected looking and blah, 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 blah. It's like they are trying to make out the homeless looking like parasites while you got this smug-looking Jesse Waters parasite fuck himself, trying to, one up on this, actual fucking human being that has some actual, like, dare I say, a soul in her heart, probably, where she actually has, like, some fire in her a little.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I've got a comment on the B-roll here. They're showing you this B-roll.
Oh, yeah, even he had a comment.
They want you to think of homeless people as being gross.
Exactly. But, I mean, even he had to mention something about it, because it was starting to really piss me off noticing it.
Right? And, look, this fence is broken. They're living in this area. Maybe they shouldn't be there. But if you're a human being that thinks this about other human beings...
Oh, you know what? Curious how they actually have that right there. This'll, it says still frame now, but with that broken fence all ripped out and shit, in her ad, she did the same thing. It's making it look like, oh, this is what she wants. This is the result of what she's advocating for. They're trying to make this B-roll essentially like this is the result of what she wants. That's what they're trying to pin it out as.
That is a disgusting flaw that you need to fight past. Because when you see these images of people sleeping on the streets, it should conjure up at least some level of compassion. Because picture yourself in their predicament. Picture yourself sleeping in a tent, trying to find a way to survive on the streets when everywhere you go, you're not welcomed. There's literally architecture built to keep homeless people away.
Yeah.
So imagine if you were in this predicament.
Like a lot of like the bus stops and a lot of the different infrastructure, especially in downtown Portland, is straight up like outright just anti-homeless infrastructure. Might be homeless eventually. If so, you're migrating up here. If you're gonna be homeless, be so in style in a place that's at least fucking tolerable. Where there's at least people that can help you. And at that point, at best, at worst, you're couch surfing. At best, you're just rooming up with a homie. Or, some potential homies or something. But either way.
awful that would be, how every day struggling to survive would be miserable. But Fox News does this. They showed this B-roll of homeless people because they want their viewers.
Yeah, honestly, once you get to the point around that, like, I'll actually kind of, maybe hit my friends up and, see what they say about it.
But it shouldn't disgust you. If it disgusts you, you need to think hard about your morals. And you should have some fucking compassion.
Couple grand for it. That's good, because honestly, at the end of the day, that could definitely help you at least have a little, like a rainy day funds and shit, so you can at least, like on the way up there, make sure you have a little something for yourself, and shit, but also while there, have a little something too. And also, just saying, I guarantee you, the first time you walk into a dispensary, you're not even gonna know what to do. Cause straight up, like, it'll be an experience for you. I'm sure when you're on the way up there, you're going to be passing through some legal states, so I'm sure you're going to probably have that experience before you get here.
About the homeless issue. What about ICE? You want to abolish ICE? Who's going to deport all the criminal illegal aliens?
Go fuck yourself, you fucking nationalist piece of shit.
Now, I could give you my commentary, but she's going to say exactly what I'm thinking.
Well, actually, decades ago, even during the Reagan era, this was before ICE, and we managed the immigration system fine. I think there's existing, pre-ICE law enforcement that can deal with immigration, but...
Custom and border protections.
At the same time...
What do you mean?
There's...
Who would that be?
Well, for example, local police, Customs and Border Patrol. There's also...
Want to say for a plane ticket? Well, one-way ticket, one-way flight, that should be easy. Shouldn't be too expensive, especially if it's like off season, when not a lot of people are traveling.
Immigration law. You need ICE because you got to get these people out of the country that are dangerous, right?
We managed fine before ICE, and what I'm really concerned about is the fact that all across the country, including in my district, there are 28 homes, empty homes for every homeless person. Why do we have veterans sleeping on the street who want to serve their country, and now they can't even find a place?
I like how she's really kind of emphasizing the homeless veterans thing. Like, she's actually really playing a smart card saying that over and over. I know she said that at least like 3 or 4 times now. So, Kyle, what are you doing?
People to think about this situation, this problem we have. Politicians just pay lip service to it. They say they're going to do something about it, and they don't. They act like the problem is way too complicated to solve. Meanwhile, it just gets worse and worse and worse. We actually, in Tacoma, had people who were encamped on the site of an encampment from the Great Depression 100 years ago. Then it was called a Hooverville. Now it's called a tent city. So if in 100 years we couldn't solve this problem and it's only gotten worse, we need to take a different way of looking at this issue. We need to look at all these empty homes,
I agree
that live in them.
I agree the politicians have paid lip service to dealing with the homeless. I just don't know if migrating into abandoned buildings is the best way. You also would...
Wow. Damn, she ran circles all over his ass cheeks and fucking just straight... Just had nothing to say. Just straight up had nothing to say. Get fucked, Jesse Waters. Herbert Hoover, yeah, dude, he was such a scumfuck, corporate straw boss, parasitical filth bag. He literally looked like a goddamn pig too. Like, he was just such a fat, schlubby, oil baron fuck. Ugh. I mean, honestly, around here in Portland, we nickname a lot of our tent cities Wheelervilles because of Ted Wheeler. So, if anything, we've modernized to Hooverville to Wheelervilles because it, kind of rings pretty similarly.
I have to pause it right here because I want you to acknowledge that she's winning. Not that this is a debate, but he is not getting out of this what he wants to get out of this. Because if she was saying something so preposterous, he would have a rebuttal. But she'll say something and then he moves on. Okay, so what about this then? What about that?
It's like, it was from what I was saying earlier. If if you go on a right-wing platform and you know what the fuck you're doing, you can run circles around them because they're not going to be able to have their NPC rebuttal points, to shit that they think is outlandish and crazy, especially if you actually provide, legit context and, some facts and shit. At least on this type of platform. If when it comes to, going on Jesse Waters or Tucker Carlson and shit like that. Might be a couple years to save and get enough money to do this, but planning on getting the fuck out of here. Honestly, it shouldn't take too long. Hell, fuck, I mean, I'll fucking help you out too a little bit, seriously. So, I mean, I'll at least make sure I get my debts locally here paid, but hell, so I mean, I'll pitch in a little bit to help you get there a little quicker.
So hard to find something that he can do a gotcha on.
You know what? Try to see if you try to do that for Big Borson too. Now I'm thinking about it, man. Give it a place where he has better opportunities for himself too. He actually sent me a text a couple days ago, and I just, because of fucking work and everything, I just haven't been able to respond to him yet. So, but honestly, you know, considering that I know you're straight up, you know, at this point, you're legit considering it, maybe we could see about getting him too. He might drive, because I know he does, you know, driving and shit like that, and, you know, and stuff, but he might fly too, who knows. I'll see what, you know, depending on his mood, I suppose, you know, see what he thinks about it. Part is also building up enough ready to run that far away, to be honest. But he really, yeah. It's kind of hard to respond to him, you know, at times. I know he, you know, is going for his shit. I mean, it's kind of the issue, honestly. It's just because whenever there's, like, you know, long breaks of silence, it makes me kind of worry a little bit. Should talk about Bush to pick me up, I'll pay for gas amount. I mean, hell, yeah. Yo, Dr. Cyborg sees MC. Hey, what's up, Rissy? Hey, honestly, we were just kind of, you know, actually just because, you know, it's on the topic right now a little bit. Venom's legit, you know, at some point considering trying to move up here and wanting to get the fuck out of his shithole state. I think, honestly, just because it's been mentioned enough times, I think now at this point it's just like, yeah, let's try to get it done. I want to get out of here. And straightly, like, frankly, I don't blame him. But honestly, if it does come to that, I'm wondering, you know, just so he's obviously just not outright homeless. You know, like, I'm wondering if, you know, we, you know, I mean, depending on when it does happen, you know, see what type of game plan could be worked out to, you know, at least have him couch surf a little bit. Come to Portlandia, or I guess Clacklandia, or whichever, yeah, I mean, either way. Just get over into the state. I mean, even if it's kind of rough of housing shit, I mean, everything else will just be fundamentally better. Like, straight up. Oh, Rip City, have you heard of this socialist Rebecca Parson? Because straight up, she's actually pretty fucking base. And actually, let me play the ad for you here real quick. About risk of arrest or worse. Well, yeah, I can see that. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Rebecca Parson, no. Yo, let me play this ad and tell me she's not the most... tell me this is not literally the most base ad in the history of political ads. And I actually kind of fucking mean that. I'm just gonna let it play. I've already reacted and listened to it.
Warning this week that housing prices are becoming unhinged from fundamentals.
The market norm. You know, I think... You feel it. I feel it. We're on the edge.
You know what, let me do this so you can get the full exposure.
The corporate elite tell us not to worry. But what has doing what they told us ever gotten us?
House prices hit another all-time high. Now you do what they told you.
I did what they told me. I went to college. I got a master's degree. I ended up living in my car. I did what they told me. Protests, letters, phone calls. Nothing changed. So I stopped doing what they told me. We occupied empty buildings and got 200 shelter beds added in our town. 200 people who didn't freeze to death. Billionaires tell us you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, fuck that. They want you depressed and hopeless. No. You should be angry and hopeful. Imagine I propose a housing for all bill in Congress. Then imagine you, me, and a million of our friends took action and occupied empty houses nationwide. They couldn't ignore us. No one has ever done anything like this. That's why it's going to work. Are you ready?
Oh God, it's just so mega based. Oh, super based, super omega based. Oh, the baseness, I can't handle it. Too much based, and Jesse Waters wants to try to make her look like a dork, and she's basing him out and cucking him like the little bitch boy he is. WA6, does she have a chance? It's Washington District 6. It's congressional district. It's the 6th congressional district in Washington. So, and honestly, I mean, I really don't know much about that race whatsoever outside of that she's base as fuck beyond recognition. But holy shit. I mean, frankly, she's definitely very smart, and she is able to, in a good way, be kind of a social chameleon, looking very rugged and kind of, you know, rough cut around the edges, but also in this, you know, interview, you know, that Jesse Waters is doing, you know, he's, you know, she's looking kind of like, you know, the professional high school teacher that actually is chill as fuck, who you might catch smoking weed in, you know, during her lunch break, you know, on school grounds and shit. Tacoma in far western Washington. Well, I don't know much about far western Washington or Tacoma, but I mean, if it's kind of close to Seattle, I would imagine that, you know, she might have at least a possibility, but I don't know. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, considering her platform and what, you know, she's an advocate of, I mean, if she doesn't necessarily succeed this time, I could definitely see her continuing and pushing forward in the future. I don't know if she's had a background in some, I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but in politics prior, like state rep or something, but if so, I'm sure she would have flexed it. Big on unions, that would be popular there. Considering her platform so far, guarantee you she is. Well, you know what, hold on, let me go on Google real quick. Let's go look at her website. Let's go check it out. I guarantee you. Like, honestly, I absolutely guarantee you. Like, if she's this, like, radical about shit, like, bro, she has to be fucking, like, hardcore pro-union on shit. She just I mean, the specific ad was mainly on, you know, housing and shit. So, probably, you know, it wasn't necessarily going to be mentioned there. But, at least when it comes to, you know, her positions on that shit, I mean, it sounds like she most certainly would absolutely be pro-union here. Continue to the site. Let's see here. Issues. I'm a terrible cook, Lamau. I can help you. This country is rich. There shouldn't be a single person who's hungry, homeless, or without health care or in poverty. Okay, homelessness, we already kind of know about that. Environment, healthcare, hunger, poverty, social security, racial justice, women's rights, political reform, disability rights, education, native rights, labor rights. Yep, I'm just going to assume. Labor rights. It's no coincidence that income inequality and, here, let me actually here. I wish I could kind of get rid of this little donate now thing, because like I actually kind of want to, and oh wow, I can already tell. I haven't even read all the way, but yeah, she's definitely pro-union. But I kind of want to get rid of the. Can I get rid of you, please? No, I don't want to go there. I just want to fucking. I want to. God, okay, is there, hold on, let me do this really quick, let's see if there's a way to, yeah, I'll just do this, okay. Well, here, make it easier to form or join a union for measures such as majority sign-up process, passing HR 2474, the protection, PRO Act. So yes, she's pro-union. So like at this point, it doesn't really take that much to, you know, sales. Enact first contract provisions so that employers cannot prevent union formation via endless stalling. Yeah, because that's what, like, even when you're already in a union, companies will do this, because ours is literally doing that to us right now. Give federal workers the right to strike, so federal workers fight for better pay and treatment. Dude, she's hardcore pro-union. She's, like, radical about it. Dude, she's, yeah, dude, oh, dude, she will have a chance. If she actually pushes ads for shit like that, oh, dude, she will. Dude, she is hardcore pro-union. Hardcore. Oh, dude, please. Like, if she actually, you know, could gain some national recognition, let her run for president, please. Thank you much. Oh my god. Why can't she be over here in our... Why can't she be in our 6th congressional district in Oregon? Oh. God. I mean, you know what? We already do. We have Jamie McCloskey. What am I talking about? Wait, I'm in the 5th. Never mind. I'm being stupid. My brain after, like, this week has been shit. My brain's broken. Oregon 6 isn't bad. Oh, isn't it? I don't know much about it, to be honest. I only... my brain is all fucked up. Don't mind me. I'm being a dumb. I'm pulling a dumb right now. I'm just glad that, you know... I mean, she's just like, I mean, she almost basically sounds like borderline syndicalist, practically. Definitely a fervent, you know, union leftist and, you know, socialist and, you know, and all that shit. So, I mean, frankly, especially, I think if she pushes the union rhetoric when it comes to her constituency, at least in some key areas, oh, I think she would definitely have a chance. Run for Congress. Who is this? Let me in. No. Fuck you. I'm not putting my zip in shit. I just want to see issues. Oh, her? Okay. She straight up looks like a fucking teacher I had at like elementary school, dude. I'm looking for a plane tickets and the cheapest I'm seeing right now is $400 and that's economy plus tickets. That's right now. You know, it fluctuates from time to time. Well, it looks like she's definitely endorsed by various different unions. Is she endorsed by mine? Wait, oh wait, actually no, she was a part of one. Oh, no, she was an advocate, okay. Okay, well, that's cool. So that means, you know, she probably actually, you know, like, you know, was like on the line with, you know, people to help fight for, you know, their unionization efforts there and shit. So that's pretty cool. You know, yeah, let's check out endorsements. Are you endorsed by, also? Oh my good lord. Yep, there's the SEIU, like I kind of figured. Oh, got the Carpenters. Northwest Carpenters Union, the Teamsters. Oh, yep, I see mine. Boop. What's this? The Oregon League of Conservation Voters. Oh, Environmental League, okay. What the fuck? Potter Pack. Huh. Oregon Working Families. Whoa, shit, dude. Farm Workers of America, too. Hey, they're still fucking out here repping. Nice. Based. Dude, I love their flag. Their flag is so cool. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie though, our logo kind of sucks. I kind of want it to be a little different. I don't mind like the, you know, the actual like, you know, shit there, but there needs to be a little extra pizzazz. Like there needs some pizazziness, honestly. There needs some shit like this. Like this looks based. This looks pretty cool for a logo. But that shit right there looks awesome because, you know, can't go wrong with the Teamsters logo. That shit looks awesome. And this one, too. This one's just epic. I love this. That one just looks awesome. I need to get up hell early, driving parents to the airport. Damn. Oregon's representatives might get way more progressive. Good. About fucking time. Bold Democrats. Bold. Anyway, here, let's get back to this. Needlessly bushy, but I know I like to travel in luxury for once. Well, hey, you know, it's worth it. If you're gonna get the fuck out of a shit fuck state, you might as well get out of there with some class. If you have, like, you know, some fancy, like, attire, you should go all nice and just, like, dress fancy and just, like, kind of flex a little bit. You know, everyone needs, like, a day to flex, dude. Make it your day to flex. Like, everyone needs just that one day to flex, you know what I mean? Just make it that one day. That day will be your day to flex. Honestly, like, if there actually is, like, an official day for that shit, I'll straight up request it off, so then, like, if we'll meet up and go to, like, some bars that, like, I love to go to around in Portland and shit, and we'll have a time, bro. We'll make sure shit be lit.
She's not giving it to him because everything she's doing is substantive, and
but yeah, let's get back to this.
She said things that appeal to him. Oh, well, I agree that politicians are paying lip service, but I just don't know if your solution is the one to go with. Okay, but what solution do you have? You're not coming up with jack fucking shit. So this is really important, and this is how you can tell that a propagandist isn't getting the value that he wants out of this segment. And this is true for any Fox News host. When they bring on a lefty and they say something, if they move on,
will remember that. Hey, I will too.
That is evidence.
Hey, if you're gonna come, hey, your first like foot in soil that actually will treat you with kindness, it has to go out with a bang, bro. You have to start with a bang.
No talking points to rebut what you're saying. It's true for Jesse Waters. It's true for anyone else, Tucker Carlson as well. Because if he can actually make her look foolish, he'd stay on one subject for the entire segment, but he's not doing that. So he's trying to find something else. Now, my favorite part is, I'm not sure if this is next, but he's going to try to do a gotcha, and she smacks that shit down, and just, it's brilliant.
Raise the minimum wage to $30 an hour. Do you think that might help with inflation?
Oh yes, my smug laugh. Please have no actual answer to this so I can roast you. Dude, look at his fucking face. Oh my god. Like, I have wood that's very hard and, you know, harsh on the face. It kind of needs something like that, but honestly, she's going to do the verbal equivalent of that anyway, so, you know, no need.
Is due to corporate price gouging. And with the $50 minimum wage, I realize that's much higher.
Look at that fucking shit. Oh my god, I love that. He's like, oh, damn, she didn't say what I wanted. I guess all I have to do is just sit here and kind of chuckle a little bit and look like a smug little roach.
But if you look at
the man, there's so many words I want to describe him that honestly I don't even think are safe for you. Instincts are of no value. Well, of course. I mean, that's why she's running circles around him.
Calculator, all across the country, not just in blue states, high-cost blue states like Washington, all across the country, counties in Michigan, Arkansas, Mississippi, $30 is the minimum living wage for an adult to be able to support a child. And if we restructured the way we do incentives with the government, for example...
Damn, he looked down there, he looked down in like some damn... It's like, dude, he looked down, literally, like, we're playing that back for a second.
And if we restructured the way we do it...
He just is like... He did that knowing, like, damn, I know she's right, but I can't say that, so fuck, and I have to just sit here and look smug. Damn. Like, oh, dude, he knows, you know he knows it's full of shit. I mean, honestly, like, just looking at the way he's, like... with his body language to everything that she's saying, like, he knows she's right, and he knows that he's full of shit. I mean, like, he's done this long enough to know that. So it's just like, just because every now and then I could tell, like, there's some very subliminal hint of, like, acknowledgement to what she's saying, but because he can't help it. And this right there, that right there is a moment. So that's one of them.
For example, the government has given over $4 billion in subsidies to Elon Musk, but when was the last time they gave a subsidy to a small business owner? I'm a small business owner myself, and if we had the government subsidizing small business owners
What's your business?
to pay their employees a living wage, that would go a long way.
Do you pay $30 an hour?
I do, yeah.
You do?
He's looking shocked and perplexed, like, huh? What? Small business, $30? How does she sustain herself? What? It's like, what the hell? That was the Trump card. It's just like, damn, dude. Damn, I love it. Get fucked, bro.
Because he was expecting her to say, I don't. But she does. She lives her principles. And she did exactly what she needed to do. Oh, you think that's going to help out with inflation? Actually, motherfucker, 60% of inflation comes from corporations, corporate greed. So what is he going to do? He's going to end this segment because it's hurting him more than it's hurting her.
Do you know that if other people pay $30 an hour for minimum wage, they might not have a business after that? But that might be what you want, because then they can go out of business and then the homeless people can move into the old building. Listen.
Absolutely not.
All right, no. Rebecca, I gotta go.
Doesn't give a man.
Oh my god, dude. She really wants to pop off, but she knows she can't because she's being cut off. Get fucked, Jesse Waters, you bourgeois fuck. Yeah, I love it.
We agree to disagree. But good luck in your race. And I'm not sure if you're going to win, but if you do win, God bless you. And God bless the people in Washington. Thank you.
He's saying that like it's a bad thing. Get fucked, you stupid bourgeois motherfucker. Oh my god. Sitting nice and comfortable, being a lazy little leech bag, just talking out of his ass. And he's like, oh, well, I hope the people there live long enough, to see the light of the sun again. Because apparently there's going to be an infestation of homeless invading all the houses, and you're next, baby. The society is degraded and it's collapsing, and she just wants to accelerate it. That's what socialism leads to. That's what you get with communists, tell you. But there was nothing. He had nothing because there is nothing. Get fucked, Jesse Waters. You nice little parasitical leech bag. Beautiful. Lovely. I kind of want to see what else Mike has to say because,
but she shuts it down. No, absolutely not. And this is what you have to do. You have to be very assertive and aggressive with these propagandists because he's trained. He knows exactly how to.
And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about knowing what you're doing when it comes to right-wing platforms like this. Like, I mean, yeah, you have to kind of like, if you get like, just say invited to like, obviously like any of us are like rat's ass chance in hell. But, to those that potentially can or do, I mean, or at least that are doing so legitimately, not like, Yimmy Dore. So it's just like, you got, like people like him who, honestly, frankly, are the reason why, a lot of lefties are like, oh, don't go on them. Because you got, Demi Dores out there fucking, basically just co-toiting you, with a lot of their shit. Well, frankly, they need to be doing what Rebecca Parsons is doing. Because, basically the idea is, like, pretty much study the propagandists and shit, whether it's, like, a Tucker Carlson or Jesse Waters or, frankly, whoever the fuck it is. Doesn't matter. It could be, like, a YouTube commentator or Fox News platformer or whoever. And essentially, from that, it's basically, what do they say? What's their talking points and shit? And how do I subvert it? And just be assertive as fuck. And, just run circles around it. I mean, there's ways to where you can actually have an advantage on right-wing platforms and shit. I mean, and it's just about knowing who the fuck it is and, kind of studying, how they try to fuck a few and just run circles around it. Because they all have the same fucking talking points every single fucking time. But if you caught them off guard with something different that they're not usually, used to when it comes to a talking point and shit, especially if you are very assertive and emphasize on that over and over again, they can't say shit. They have to try to move on to something else. And in some ways, honestly, it's even better to be like, why you move from the issue? I wasn't done discussing the first issue. It's just like, like whether politely or otherwise, I mean, even being assertive, with some specific issues, especially if you think it's going to be beneficial to, try to potentially at least at best, or at least at, minimal, plant some seeds in a couple of the people in the audience on an issue, like whether it might be labor or, certain issues like that. Or when it comes to housing and shit, or homeless veterans, because Rebecca Parsons, talking with him, really emphasized that a lot. Like, she's at least mentioned homeless veterans at least like 3 or 4 times, especially when it came to the whole issue with housing and stuff. So, I mean, things like that are key to try to plant, some seeds, at least, to, some people in the audience, potentially. Because they're going to hear homeless vet and be like, what? We got to help our troops. God bless our troops. Like, because they're so gun-ho about the troops and all that shit. Like, there's just some conservatives that are just, like, that hyper-patriotic, where it's like, they will make exemptions when it comes to trying to help troops, or they actually want to see things, when it comes to benefiting them, including relieving them from homelessness. So it's just like, I mean, you can tug at the heartstrings. How different is this culture of the South compared to the Pacific Northwest? It'd be a culture shock for you. I mean, I guess in the rural country a little bit, it wouldn't be too much different, but a lot more, it would probably, in a lot of ways, just be a lot more casual and friendlier. Like, at least depending on certain places when it comes to the rural areas. Like, not everywhere is going to be just all nice and friendly, but at least, like, at least the last few times I was in rural Oregon areas, it was in places like in Corbin and shit, which is kind of like more east, not like kind of south or anything like that. And people out there are pretty friendly and chill. Because because main reason is just because they know there's a lot of people that kind of like going up in the mountains and shooting a little bit. And, and sometimes people might go a little too close to where everyone is, so occasionally they'd be like, hey, what's up, guys? Oh, if you want to, go target shooting, go way up over there. Like, just go drive there like 10 minutes and you'll find a spot. Happened the first time we went up there, and because some old farmer on this big-ass tractor showed up, and my dad walked up to him and was asking if it was an okay spot where we were initially at, and it's like, probably not necessarily, but because cattle like to graze out here and stuff occasionally, so probably not the best spot. But if you go drive up there, 10, 15 minutes out about, just continue up this road here now, you'll find, plenty of nice little spots that even I like to kind of go out. But, these days there's not really as many places, to go out as much anymore, unfortunately, but you'll find one. And then, lo and behold, we eventually did, so. Oregon's way more liberal on food stamps. You'll probably get more closer to 200. Yeah, like if it's an individual food stamp, yeah, you'll get closer to 200. So if you apply for food stamps here, you'll definitely get something like that on a disability. Yeah, plus, if you get apply for Oregon food stamps specifically here as well, with that. I mean, at least, for minimal, especially like kind of how rooming up with somebody, that's at least, making it to some extent. And, depending on where you work, you could be able to get, enough part-time, to sustain that while also getting maybe a little extra on the side. So, there's ways around it. It's a lot more easier to, figure shit out like that. It's because in Alabama, you're essentially fucked, but out here, despite a lot of the bullshit, it's a lot more easier to kind of manage shit a little bit. Just because, again, it's more of a progressive, more liberal area in comparison.
Yes, he's been doing this for over a decade now, but she won't let him have anything. And what she's saying here is the truth. Like, a lot of people are afraid to say the minimum wage should be higher, $20, $25, $30 an hour, because, oh my God, think of the small businesses. Okay, you've got to understand that these businesses, like if you're an owner of a small business, I don't know that his definition would be the same as mine, but if you expect to make a living off of your business...
Find some low-income housing, I'd be more than willing to rent an apartment. Well... Me and my, at least two of my friends rent out an apartment. But at that point, they could probably rent like a little small house or some shit. So, at that point, you wouldn't even necessarily need to do an apartment. That's depending if, how they feel about it. But honestly, I don't think they wouldn't necessarily be, too against it. Though, if that ends up being a scenario, like at least a possible one, you'll also kind of have to deal with that friend that sent you to cringe about. But, like, at least in person, it would probably be a little bit more of a casual back and forth. Well, I mean, maybe I'm saying casual, like it would be an easy conversation. But, I mean, it'd be at least, a conversation to where there's at least more of a back and forth instead of the way it happens on stream. Oh, my God. I'm still thinking back on that and just like, oh, my God, it's fucking cringe. Even I looked back on it, re-listening to it myself, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, cringe.
dumb.
It's just like, I've studied it, bro. Makes no sense. It's hypocritical because it just eventually leads to fascism either way or something because, you know, I studied it, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Also want to make a living off of that same business. Why do you get to make a living? Why do you get to be able to afford rent off of this business when your employees aren't going to have that same expectation, to your understanding? So you should be able to have a luxurious life from this business because you started it. But the employees that you hire, they can work a full-time work for you full-time and still not afford their fucking rent? No. So what we're seeing here is a reshaping of society.
I mean, honestly, if straight up if a small business owner, you know, is not willing to do that shit, then frankly, honestly, just kind of fuck them. Like, I mean, I can get, like, oh, you know, like, I guess, you know, not being paid, like, you know, full wage, but, like, minimum wage or whatever because of, like, you know, part-time or something like that because they're, like, doing some shit, you know, like high school, whatever. Like, I know mom and pop shops doing that because that's what my mom did whenever she was, when she was doing photography business. But, like, I mean, it's still just kind of like, I mean, it's like if you really can't afford to at least, you know, like, pay your workers a fucking living wage and shit, which the minimum wage is not that at all, then, I mean, it's like, I mean, either, you know, suck it up, buttercup, or, you know, have, you know, someone who's a little bit more dedicated, just one person, who's willing to work full time, or don't be in business, I guess. Like, honestly, I mean, it's just like, I mean, what the fuck? It's a little fuckety. I guess in hindsight, it's better for the long run, I suppose, but, well, I mean, what, you know, good does it actually do for the, you know, individual when it comes to small businesses in general? Not much.
Rising up, and they're saying, we have power. They're asserting their voice, and that is really incredible, and people like Jesse Waters hate that because they don't know how to counter that. Tucker Carlson, I believe, is just ignoring the unionization movement in this country because, you know, you can't LARP as somebody who is pro-worker or a populist if you're shitting on unionization and worker rights movement because that is the most populist thing that you can support, right?
Yep.
But, I mean, workers are realizing that this relationship between them and their employers is incredibly abusive.
Yeah.
In many instances. It's
like, honestly, the fucking, you know, masturbatory fucking jerk-off fest that, like, our store director was doing today and shit. It's just like, I mean, closer calling in again and shit. I mean, I'm gonna go off this rant again. I don't give a fuck. And fucking, you know, like, there's one moment of respite, and me and the mid, who's basically my, the closer now at this point, is fucking, you know, just like, we're sitting there for, like, not even one fucking minute, and he happens to just, you know, walk by doing his little patrol, looking like he's, you know, giving a shit about us, you know, walking around seeing how things are and shit. And his main big concern is just like, oh, hey, you know, looks like some things need some facing. And it's just like, and apparently the mid was already did it twice, you know, already, you know, because he was doing this. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, literally the only thing he gives a shit about is literally just the things are faced. It's like, yo, do you not, like, obviously you know the fucking circumstances are going on over here, why do you give a shit? Like, there's probably some other stuff that you can, you know, probably think about when it comes to that, but, you know, again, don't matter. I mean, it's just a fucking straw boss abusive relationship on top of, you know, the fucking wage thievery. And at this rate, it's like, I'm definitely gonna be, you know, kind of wandering around and asking about, like, hey, if these wages don't come in as paycheck, you know, let's schedule out a fucking walkout and shit. Because, it's bullshit. Like, fuck this. It's ridiculous.
At any second, an employer like that can pull the rug out from underneath you, and you could lose everything if they choose to cut your hours. Like at the jobs that I've worked at, if you didn't work to their standards, then they would cut your hours. And I was a manager at Blockbuster, and I talk about Blockbuster a lot, but I was actually like the general manager, the store manager, and my regional manager would instruct me to cut the hours of any worker who did not do enough to produce sales, right? So we sold like movie bundles, candy bundles, and anyone who didn't generate enough revenue, we had to basically cut their hours. And if I didn't cut their hours, then I would be fired potentially. So they force you in this predicament to treat workers like cogs in the machine, and if they don't produce profits...
And that forces division between management and co-workers as well, because, you know, it kind of shows that, you know, Mike obviously being a store director, it shows that managers are capable of actually being some pretty decent people and shit. But because of how the fucking system and how hyper fucking parasitically capitalistic it is, it forces this shit. And, you know, because of that shit as well, it also incentivizes people who are very cutthroat, like our store director from my shit, you know, who are essentially, you know, just fit perfectly right in, like a nice little snug little, you know, square slot going into, like the square cube going into the square slot, one of those little, like, puzzle things and shit, just nice and perfect. It's just like, I mean, you know, like, it just incentivizes this type of shit, and it makes it, you know, utterly fucking, you know, abusive, and it just shows, you know, like, and it's just one of the major problems when it comes to the fucking unnecessary hierarchy in our fucking society, because, I mean, capitalism is just a fucking inherently, you know, not just unnecessary, but a fucking abusive hierarchy at that.
You disregard them. That is incredibly unstable, and it's an abusive relationship. And that's not all. I mean, think about how your employer controls every aspect of your life. Controls what you should wear, controls the way you speak. It's fucking insane. And if you don't live up to their standards, they can penalize you, right? At Blockbuster, we had to answer the phone by saying, "Thanks for calling Blockbuster. We're the best in movies.
You would need a
best in
roommate.
TV."
That 950 would be really difficult in Portland. Yeah. I mean, if you're, that's what I'm kind of saying, you know, it would, you know, a scenario, at least when it comes to renting a spot out, it would probably be a little bit more easier to deal with that type of shit when it comes to, you know, at least, you know, possibly within my friend group and shit, but, you know, hell, even with, you know, maybe someone that I might, you know, also know as well, maybe like a coworker or some shit. Or maybe, like, you know, some other friend I might, you know, be able to, like, hit up or some shit. There's at least, you know, options and possibilities, at least, you know, when it comes to it being around here. And also, there's probably, like, you know, Craigslist ads or some shit, if, you know, you're willing to trust those, I suppose, you know, and shit, but, I mean, there's actual possibilities for it, though.
I help you, that long fucking thing. And you had to say it because if the district manager called, then you'd get bitched out. So they control everything. It's a fucking authoritarian dictatorship at these jobs. And finally, workers are saying, you know what? Fuck off. Now, because there's a worker shortage, because of the pandemic and whatnot, you have to be more competitive. You've got to pay me more money. I'm not going to work for $12 an hour dealing with these fucking Karens during a pandemic. If you want me to work, pay me more. If not, go out of business. You don't get to have a business if...
Goes by 10. Oh my god, if you fucking do that, you just have it in my goddamn backyard. I'll literally just do that, and you can do, like, I don't even give a fuck, dude. If you're gonna do that, you're going in my backyard.
The labor of workers. If you want to survive off this business, your workers do too.
If one of my neighbors asks, I'll just be like, I'm helping a buddy out right now. We just don't necessarily have, like, the exact space in the meantime, but, you know, or some shit. Like, I mean, the fuck, I would, like, that shit will be figured out.
Rebecca, kudos to you. I've had her on my show, I believe twice, maybe 3 times, and she's an incredibly impressive candidate. And if you live in her district, support her, go vote for her. Yeah, I got fired from Petland discounts because I had lip piercings. Isn't that insane?
Okay, that should just straight up be fucking discrimination. Like, that's just fucking bullshit. As long as you let me charge my phone, I'd be happy. Well, yeah. I wouldn't care. But, buddy, look at you. You sweet thing. What are you doing?
Literally control the way that you express yourself. Like, think about this. The U.S. government can't even control... Hit my microphone. The U.S.
He's getting so tense he's hitting his mic.
Government can't even tell you how to dress. I mean, Republicans want to, right, when it comes to gender expression. But, you know, the federal government... They can't control how you dress. They can't say you're not allowed to have that nose ring. You're not allowed to have tattoos. But your employer can?
I mean, honestly, it's fucking ridiculous. And luckily for our work, I mean, this is also kind of why, you know, having a union, you know, despite all these abuses still, you know, is good. Because, one, our union's actually fighting it. you know, right now with some class action suits, at least when it comes to a lot of the wage theft shit. So at least this shit could be a little bit more tolerable, and at least can help incentivize more people getting the fuck in when they actually have the fucking wages in there. You know, so it's like, you know, when people get hired, they're actually getting the new wages instead of like the same fuck bullshit. You know, so, yeah, like that could actually be kind of nice. That's tattoo scene out there. If anyone wants more ink eventually, there's a lot of tattoo shops, and a lot of people here have ink. Actually, at some point, I want to get some myself. I'm kind of prioritizing some stuff. I'm going to wait a little bit before I do. You know, I feel like, you know, if I want to get some, it's probably better to wait a little bit because, you know, over time, I know they will eventually fade and shit. So, if I do, I probably would, you know, want to wait at least a little. I want to start getting some pretty soon, so I think I'll probably at least, you know, maybe get a couple to start with. Something easier so I can, like, you know, if they do kind of fade over time, something that can be kind of easily retatted and stuff. And then some of the more bigger tats that I kind of, you know, want and shit. Especially if I have the money for it, then I can do that a little bit more later in life. Like, you know, like sleeves and shit, like I kind of was thinking about. I know I remember on a stream not too long ago, I remember talking about that with my roommate, actually. Probably like a couple weeks ago. I've had tattoos since I was 18, they have not faded yet. Well, I mean, what I mean by that is, like, by the time, like, you know, I get them now, and, you know, within, like, four decades they will, you know, so it's like, hey, if I'm 24, 25, like, by the time I'm, like, you know, 55 or some shit, yeah, they will. 28 FYI. Well, yeah, they're not gonna fade yet. Like, they might be, like, a tiny bit, like, if you look closely, they might be a little, ever so slightly, but, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not gonna fade quite yet. I mean, by fade, I mean more, like, kind of blurring out and, you know, kind of splotching a little and shit. I mean, depending on, you know, the tattoo, I suppose. I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, you know, sometimes there's genetics and shit involved where, you know, how much you wrinkle and shit like that. I mean, there's variables in play. It all depends. Like, you know, some people, you know, probably fades more quicker than others. And I guess it also depends on how well, you know, the person inks you and quality of the ink and shit. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of things that play when it comes to that.
Federal fucking government? Is that not insane? I got fired for being disabled. Exactly.
How's that even legal?
So it's...
I mean, like, man, this is how much, like, you know, like the owner class got people by the fucking balls. Like, you know, you'll get, like, you know, politicians that, you know, say, oh, you know, social issues and all this other type of shit, you know, like when it comes to, you know, LGBT discrimination in the workplace and all this and that, but, you know, it's still alive and fucking well, where it's just like, oh, you're a little disabled, well, guess what, you know, cutting your hours and shit, and, well, you're not worthy enough, you're fired, you're not productive enough. I mean, essentially, that's what Amazon did with my fucking dad, because, you know, he has a fucked up back and shit. And it's partially just, and now especially, and it's disabled to fit, but at least at the time wasn't as much. And because he wasn't productive enough, they just, like, they fired him after 2 weeks. And basically, essentially, fucking, you know, being an independent contractor can essentially get fucked over, you know, very easily, you know, in that way. Because they essentially didn't even tell him he had to, actually get to his independent contractor to fucking get that info out. My granddad has a naked woman tattoo that looked great when he was 20, but at 80 it looks like a wrinkled old woman. Ew, gross. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Gross.
Relationship where you're exploited, and finally people are saying, fuck that. $25 an hour minimum wage, $30 an hour minimum wage, higher in some areas of the country. You have to set a bare minimum and then attach.
Yeah, honestly, these days $15 isn't enough. It needs to be like 25 and 30. 30 minimum wage, bitch. He was in Korea. Damn. Korean vet.
You know, the cost of living in certain areas. But I'm sorry. You know, it's not necessarily just Jesse Waters, but the generation who was able to...
I'm starting to see why he might have a strong antagonization towards people who might be Chinese.
Purchase a home.
I don't know if he is or not, but I guarantee you he probably is, considering what you've told me about him.
Put themselves through college while working part-time at a fucking Jiffy Lube should not be scoffing at the idea of a $30 an hour minimum wage. So I'm glad that workers are standing up. And if you're a true
honestly, frankly, I don't think they are. I think, you know, back in those days, you know, I don't think I'm sure a good chunk of them are, but like there's, you know, I think a lot of them that are still kind of in that fucking predicament. Because I mean, in my workplace, there's a lot of people who were from those times and shit, or grew up, you know, from parents who were, and they had like, you know, whatever little inkling, you know, was left of that shit before it all really went to shit. And, you know, it's just like, honestly, at the end of the day, yeah, they want it. They want this shit too. You know, like, there's a lot of people who are like boomers or, you know, like, you know, Gen Xers and shit like that who, you know, straight up, yeah, would love to see this shit, just straight up. And yeah, some of them are kind of conservative leaning shit, but nonetheless, they still want these things.
Any right-winger who purports to be a populist, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but any right-winger who says they're a populist, ask them what their thoughts are on unionization. And if they support it, they're a true populist. If they don't, they're frauds. Any politician like Josh...
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Who claims to be a populist...
But North Korea, best Korea, oh god.
See how many times he votes against unions and workers. That tells you he's a fraud. Stand for workers, exactly. Exactly. County by county minimum wage tethered to
workers of the world unite.
Price. Yeah, absolutely. We can acknowledge that, you know, the cost of living will vary depending on where you live, but there's got to be a federal minimum, and you have
to... When else some girls might said I was approached by Blackwater at the end of his military career to join up. He didn't because they didn't offer enough money. You kidding, huh? Damn, dude. Because you didn't give me enough money. Dude, I bet if he fucking pressured them to offer more, they probably would have. That's kind of the more fucked thing about it. He probably just said, nah. He probably just had a gut no, you know, to it instead of, you know, negotiating it. I bet, you know, just assumption.
Is to the cost of living. That's the only way. Otherwise, people are going to be perpetually struggling.
So pay me a little more to do war crimes and I'll do them for you.
Keep up, living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm sorry, in the richest country on the planet, we can do a little bit better than just having people barely get by.
Ugh. God love this country. God bless America. Oof. Here's some Oliver. I don't know if I can get away with playing that anyway. I'd like to. Oh, fucking Dio Mama's live right now? Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, I actually want to literally beat that with a goddamn fucking lead pipe. I really unironically just, shit, I have to shit he let slip, that he did during his career, or true, he did war crimes for dirt cheap. Ugh, Jesus, man. There's like, I think there's alright, let's go for the list. Because I know there's like different levels of like service member when it comes to like a U.S. Army, you know, like, or a U.S. military service member. There's the person who's just doing it for the 3 hots and a cot and trying to pay for college or some shit. And slash bennies, you know, that type of shit. You got that guy. You got the person who, you know, is like legit, like has this grander, not like, you know, ill will necessarily, just like, yeah, I like my country, I'm patriotic about it, I want to serve it, but you know, you got like that person who's kind of naive about it and shit. So there's, you know, so there's at least like 2 people so far. We haven't gotten to the fucked one yet. I think, you know, that's probably going to be more like right here. And then you got, you know, and honestly, like, the second one can end up actually being the third one, whereas like they end up being kind of like the naive type of like, yeah, I'm patriotic about my country and stuff, but then they kind of come back all like, you know what, it was fucked up, you know, my country, you know, fucked me over and, you know, fucked us over and just all my friends died. But you got, you know, that type of guy. And then you got the person who is just like, yeah, I'm patriotic and I'm gonna fucking kill my country. And it's like absolutely fine for war crimes, well, probably does them themselves, and justifies pretty much anything and everything that is essentially like a hardcore American nationalist, you know, boot stomper. So okay, so pretty much like I think there's like 4 different tiers of like U.S. Army service member when it comes to this shit, and he's that 4th one. I know some of my coworkers are the 3rd one, and I've known people at least in high school who are at least like either the 1st or the 2nd one. They claim to use on the team that yeeted Pablo Escobar. That sounds like bullshit. I'm pressing X to doubt with that. That sounds like some flowery shit he wanted to add up on himself. Because if that's so, then he's probably in the picture with his corpse, and if that's the case, then I could point him out. Well, I guess you could, technically. But, honestly, I mean, I'm pressing X to doubt with that one specifically. The seal part, Korean War shit, yeah, that sounds about right. That, though, oh, what's the boy? No, North Korea was my grandfather. Oh. Well. Or at least the seal part, I mean, I agree with shit, but, I mean, like, the whole... this Escobar thing, I am pressing really some major X to doubt, not even gonna lie. It just... I mean, just that, at least, just sounds a little far-fetched. I also doubt that, but that's what he claims. Well, I mean, considering how like what he believes and all this other shit, I mean, frankly, I mean, for me, it just sounds like he's definitely, you know, one of those people who are kind of like willing to, you know, probably just flower up a lot of random bullshit and claim, you know, some pretty random nonsense. Doesn't exactly sound like somebody who will, you know, be very truthful. So, I believe him on seal part because of what he's shown me. Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously got some legit flex. But he's not, like, entirely truthful about it. And honestly, I mean, you know, I feel like, yeah, like, back to, like, that, you know, tier thing I was talking about, like, either the second or, like, the fourth. Usually those types tend to like to kind of flower up some of their, you know, story and shit, just kind of make themselves sound cooler. Because the naive types, they will always be like, well, yeah, I did a lot of this type of stuff, when realistically they were probably just like on base, just like patrolling and jerking off in the tent or whatever the fuck, basically, most of their time. And maybe they get like a patrol in the village or whatever the fuck, like, you know, shit like that. Or just basically be in like Germany and or whatever the hell and just drink beer at the beer house or whatever the hell and just be on base for like a week or something. You know, and so it's just like, I mean, you know, like, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, chances are there's a lot of flowery bullshit that will, you know, some people say. It's not saying that like all vets do that, but there'll definitely be some people who will do that shit. Like, I mean, if anything, it's more kind of akin to like stolen valor shit, but it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that if they are actual legit service members and stuff, because, you know, obviously they're not like outright, you know, stolen valor in it, but they are definitely lying about, you know, some of their shit. And it's just like, come on. My cousin was in Colombia in the 90s, fried his brain on cocaine. Cousin in the 90s. Well, you know, I guess that could probably make the, you know, claim about the whole, like, Escobar thing, you know, possible. But I still have an X to doubt. Because at this point, I mean, like, what's stopping him from, like, declassifying, you know, the story, so to speak? I mean, it happened in the 90s. My cousin was a Marine. Well, Well, I still don't know if I believe it, but honestly, I mean, I'm starting to see how it could be possible, at least, you know, potentially why he makes the claim. If, you know, or at least, you know, seeing potential where it could be true. Oh my god, this sleepy point. sleepy boy. No. Oh, you sweetie thing. Oh. Oh, you sweet little boy, yes. You sweet little boy. You stretchy thing, you yes. Oh, little stretchy baby. He joined up in his 30s and was cop in his 20s. He also did police work before joining the military. That's kind of weird. It's usually the other way around of that. Like, dead ass. Usually that shit's the other way around. It's like, I joined the military, now I'm gonna be a cop. He went the other route. He's like, I'm gonna be a cop, then join the military. That's like a reverse Uno if I've ever seen one. Got fired for giving the local mayor a speeding ticket. Really? So he was actually not a corrupt one? He wasn't a corrupted one. Or at least in that instance. He's like, you might be the mayor, but you're still speeding here, and, you know, as a member of this community, I must, protect this community. That's what he claims. Well, if that's the case, there has to be, like, a record of that. I mean, there would have to be something. There would have to be, like, some sort of a record about that shit. I mean, honestly, that sounds about accurate, though. That seems like something like if, like, a corrupt local police department, that's, kind of friendly with the mayor, and one of their own ticketed him for something. Yeah, I mean, I could see them kind of going after, whoever ticketed them and, like, saying, you betrayed us, fuck you. Or at least being petty about it and shit. Like, I mean, at minimal, being petty, at worst, like, firing a person. I guess depending on how severe it was, but for a speeding ticket, yeah. Because I guarantee you, they'll probably just use some excuse like, well, you weren't, doing this and this and this, and you failed it. They probably use some other bullshit to fire him with. But, knowing, what he did, he was like, you know what, this is bullshit. I don't know. At least that seems true. I mean, these days, a cop more or less might be actually, like, potentially, like, oh, wow, a good apple and a bad bunch of apples. If anything, there will be, something like that occasionally and shit. Because there's been a couple of cops where they'll actually go after, like, some shit fuck, politician and actually, like, cite them for something. So, my mother's an ex-district attorney. So, funny enough, she might know something. If there's any information about that for the state of Arizona, well, I mean, even with that, she might be able to, know somebody that, has access to that, some information like that. To investigate work to see if these claims are true. I mean, honestly, why not, though? I mean, it's like, hey, if they're fucking, like, hey, if there's, like, some claims and shit, might as well put them to the test, see if they're actually true, right? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, don't they not? See what little things could be on the tube here too. For ironically, Maricopa County, which is the famous asshole Jared Shaw piles from. Ooh, dude, she probably knows inside information about him too. Too bad she won't. Too bad she won't tell fuck all about that though. Like straight up, you know she won't. Ugh. And what a filthy fuck that Arpaio fuck is, dude. Like if he was born in Germany and was like 40 something when the SS existed and shit, like, dude, he would totally be fucking like a lieutenant or like, you know, commandant, you know, for the Waffen SS, dude. And be manning a camp, bro. You know he would. She actually met him once, called him an arrogant prick. You know what? She's based for that. You know what? I kind of like her for that. She's gay. All right, I like that. She's gained some respect points. Dude, oh my god, that's awesome. You're an arrogant prick, Joe Arpaio. I'm sure he took that kindly. Oh my god, dude, nice. That's actually based. I love it. An arrogant fucking prick. I mean, he is. I mean, she's not wrong. She's a lib to her core. I know. But hey, you know what? Like, you know, respect where it is. Because like I said, she's not wrong. Broken clock right twice a day, you know what I'm saying? She did child sex crimes. Like, committed them or, like, investigated them? The way you said that in a vacuum made it look like she did it. Like, the worst case she had was an 8-year-old who molested a 2-year-old. What the fuck? How does that even work? Yo, what? Like, what fucking shit was that? Okay, that was okay. What? How's that even fucking... The 8-year-old was being molested himself. Oh my god. Yeah, I would guess so. It's just like, there's no way naturally, like, an 8-year-old would just know that and project it on the toddler. Oh my god. Ugh. What the fuck, bro? Jesus. So who's the OG of this? Like, who, like, I mean, what about the one who started the cycle? Like, if it's the case it was only just those two, then how in the fuck is, like, the case of both of them being removed from their parents' custody? Implying their parents were the ones, What is our world? What is our world? What is our world? What the fuck? The father was arrested for What is our world? What is our world? What the? Oh my god. She also did minor drug crimes. Well, that's fucked up. That's some bullshit right there. And let me investigate the fact that you have like an 1/8 of weed on you. A literal bale of cannabis. Oh my god. And the sad fact that that was probably just thrown in a landfill somewhere, or just literally burnt into like some fucking fire pile. Just this. She better have taken a cut out of that. She better have taken a cut. She probably won't admit it, but she probably took a cut. She won't admit it, but she took a cut. No way in hell you're gonna stand next to something like that and not take a cut out of it before it goes into like the incinerator or something, dude. No way. No fucking way in hell. Even the most like soberest of cops will look at that and be like, "Oh, I could at least make a little extra cash. Just, you know, some of my buddies. I know one of my buddies might take it." Yeah, and like, I mean, there's just, even if she says, "Nah, I didn't," bullshit. She's so straight edge, I believe her when she says she didn't take any. You know, those type of people exist. You are right. Those type of people do exist. Fuck. The worst she'll ever admit to is drinking. Well, because who gives a shit about that? That's like so normalized. I mean, she took a cut. Honestly, you know what? Nah, I feel, you know, like, honestly, it took, like, basically me, you know, kind of pressuring my mom, like, subconsciously, basically, to where she broke, you know, when it came to, you know, the whole thing about weed. And, you know, and honestly, it's just because, you know, of different factors and shit. But either way, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, despite my mom being very straight edge and, you know, and all this shit, I mean, she has diabetes, so she can't drink anymore. Well, yeah, I imagine, you know, she probably doesn't anymore. And, yeah, marijuana wouldn't help with that either, because, you know, munchy situation. Wouldn't want that. I slipped her a few edibles over the years. So she has had some. Unknowingly. But who cares about that? Whoa, what's this? Voyager 1 is sending weird data from interstellar space? What? Here's probably why. Ooh, I want to know.
Voyager 1.
Space stuff.
Is it sending weird data? Is it actually detecting something really unusual? Is there a mysterious issue? Is there a glitch? Is it sending impossible data? Maybe it's sending some strange signals, as CNN implied? Yeah, it's one of those weeks again. A lot of attention-grabbing titles trying to make a big deal out of pretty much nothing. Hello, wonderful person. This is Anton, and as some of you requested,
I decided to you clickbaited me.
Finally talk about what's happening with Voyager 1, the incredible NASA probe that's currently traveling in the interstellar space. Although a much better way of imagining where it's actually located is by looking at Universe Sandbox in order to see its location in the solar system along with the Voyager 2 craft that's somewhere right there, and seeing where it's actually headed. So it's basically going that way, and that way is pretty much nothing. We'll actually discuss some of the objects it's going to be passing in a few minutes. But first, so let's get to the point. What is happening with Voyager 1, and is it really sending some mysterious signals? Well, to some extent, yes. But it's actually expected, for one simple reason. This mission is ancient. It was launched on this rocket back in 1977, making this probe almost 45 years old. That is insanely old in terms of space technology.
It is.
And on top of this, it's traveling through some relatively dangerous and somewhat radioactive conditions with quite a lot of galactic cosmic rays coming from every direction. Yep. And that's because back in 2012, and for Voyager 2 it was 2018, both probes entered what's known as interstellar space outside of the so-called heliosheath or solar bubble. And so now they're no longer protected by the sun's magnetosphere, and instead are bombarded by all kinds of interstellar radiation from every direction. Naturally, with time, this can cause serious problems, and for Voyager 1, it's been in these conditions for practically 10 years now. But a few weeks ago, the scientists at NASA started to get unusual signals from a system known as AACS, Attitude and Articulation Control Subsystem. It's actually not just one instrument, it's several instruments responsible for keeping the radio antenna pointed toward Earth in order to have stable communication. But it does involve 16 hydrazine thrusters, 3 axis stabilization gyroscopes, and several referencing instruments, along with several redundant and backup instruments, with the sole purpose of essentially keeping the probe oriented in a certain direction. And here the scientists are usually...
Sounds so complex, and I kind of got like only half of that.
Where when it's misaligned. If the signal coming from the probe suddenly weakens, it means that the antenna is not pointed in the right direction. But in the last few years, nothing like this has happened, and the signals have been consistently pretty strong, which means that it's not really misaligned. Yet it is sending the signals from this subsystem, suggesting that it's sort of having problems with orientation. In other words, there's a bit of a disconnect between what AACS is detecting and what is actually happening with the craft. But as of today, everything else is operating normally, the probe is receiving and sending signals, and all of the commands have been so far executed. And all of the science instruments are working fine as well. So it's not that the system is broken.
And it's just an interstellar space, just kind of vibing in a, like, just field of radiation, just like, yeah, we're you know, we're kind of out there, but we're working, we're doing fine.
The part seems to be a little bit off, and that is quite possibly because of the radiation conditions that might have damaged one of the parts inside the probe. And it does seem to be the case because a lot of the data that it's sending to us,
I guess it's not vibing totally.
Generated. In other words, it doesn't actually reflect what's happening with the probe right now. Here's actually a very beautiful image of the trajectory of the probe as it would appear in the night skies from planet Earth. And as of right now, nothing else has triggered any onboard fall protection systems, and everything seems to be operating normally. More importantly though, the signal is very strong, and the antenna is pointed in the right direction.
So they're working fine as usual, basically.
And so here the scientists...
So that was wrong of them. Like, because I saw a few articles, like a couple days ago and shit, where it's like, is Voyager 1 sending weird things and blah, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck? Some science stuff going on? But it just sounds like bullshit. It just sounds like, oh yeah, you know, some radiation probably damaged a part or two, but everything's working fine. You know, we have a bunch of extra redundant parts, you know, on the thing that kind of help, you know, as backups for that type of shit. So, I mean, it sounds like they're working fine.
But, well, you have to remember, it's a 45-year-old mission. This is sort of expected, and the scientists...
And it's still technically going, I mean, for all intents and purposes. Like, we're still collecting data off these things. That's kind of what's fucking crazy about it. It's like, even though they're in interstellar space, we're still collecting shit from it. It's just like... I mean, eventually, at some point, you know, it's gonna, you know, one of these days send in some pretty interesting, freaky info you know, at some point, maybe. I mean, it's a maybe, but... Like, who knows? It'll be kind of curious to see what happens. That's why I was kind of like, you know, for a while, I had my head perked about it. I was like, huh? What has been with the Voyager crafts and shit? How they handling interstellar travel and shit? And it's like, you know, the whole radiation thing actually makes sense, and didn't really, you know, think about it really though. But yeah, once you kind of get out of the, I guess, the ionosphere of our sun. Like, essentially, you're pretty much, like, just fucked from, you know, when it comes to, like, any radiation thing. So, honestly, like, I mean, it kind of wonders, you know, like, we're going to have to think about that as a caveat for interstellar travel, you know, especially, because if there's so much, like, stellar radiation just, like, from all directions, so it's, like, pounding on you and shit, you're going to need something to be a heavy, like, you know, wall between you and that. Especially when it comes to going to, like, another solar system.
It's very likely everything will completely stop operating here. The mission is most likely going to be over in approximately 3 years maximum.
Aww, I got my hopes up too quickly.
Because it's running out of its nuclear fuel that has been powering the device for 45 years. Every single year, the spacecraft has been losing approximately 4 watts of electrical power, and by 2025, there's just not going to be enough energy produced by this to successfully continue the mission past the date.
Aww.
Here's actually a gorgeous picture of Jupiter's Great Red Spot taken by the probe back in the 70s. Not to mention that both
such a cool high-res picture too.
Probes have been doing a huge...
Honestly, I've seen it through my telescope. Seeing that big ass storm and shit, it's just so fucking crazy looking. It's so awesome to see fucking Jupiter on a telescope.
To operate this long. The mission actually ended back in the 90s. but it's been going strong for 30 more years after that.
Is that Pluto?
Here's a beautiful picture of Mimas, one of the moons of Saturn, and the picture of Saturn itself. And so the combination of the age of the mission mixed with the high radiation environments that the probes have been pretty much flying through for the past few years makes this an extremely challenging experience for any kind of technology. And so it's actually really surprising that more things have not happened just yet. And on top of this, this is not even the first time the probe is having some issues. Back in 2017, so approximately 5 years ago, it started to experience a slight loss in the signal, which the scientists determined was very likely due to the problems in its main thrusters. In other words, the thrusters responsible for maintaining the positioning here were no longer operating normally. But because there are 16 thrusters on the probe, the scientists had some backups. I don't actually see them in this particular model, but they are somewhere there. And so the scientists did decide
to like, yeah, there's somewhere on there.
Switch to backup thrusters.
The weirdest case was a man who fucked a chicken. Oh my god. What the fuck?
For 37.
Man, what a weird, like, it's... Out of all the things, like, a human's who could be desperate enough, man, like, a chicken, what the fuck is wrong with humanity, dude? We're here looking at some cool science shit, and you're just dropping some more, just what the fuck shit here, bro. Like, what, damn, bro. Well, it's like, duality of man right here. Awesome science advancements, you know, that humanity's capable of. Man fucks chicken. Duality of man. Like, oh my god, just wow. What is this world? Do-do-do-do-do. What is this world?
Actually, used once in order to change the Voyager's trajectory as it was leaving the solar system. And it turned out that everything worked as it was supposed to. And since then, for 5 years, nothing major has occurred on the probe. And also, unlike Voyager 1 probe, Voyager 2 hasn't really experienced any major problems at all. Although the chances are it might, because it actually took at least 5 years for the Voyager 1 to start experiencing...
Yeah, it took the cock-a-doodle-doo a little too literally.
...issues in the interstellar space. Voyager 2 only entered the interstellar space back in 2018, so it's only been 4 years now. And that's actually why, even today, these two missions are so crucial to us. These are the only two spacecrafts we have that are flying through the interstellar space with actual functioning scientific instruments that are currently returning a lot of data to NASA and to a lot of scientists on planet Earth. And there are 5 different instruments currently actively doing a lot of science. We have magnetic field investigation, low energy charged particle investigation, cosmic ray investigation, plasma wave investigation, and even the ultraviolet spectrometer that is only active on Voyager 1, and Plasma Investigator that's only active on Voyager 2. And so for the next 3 years at least, until 2025, they will all have just enough power to collect and return data from the craft.
And all that's going to be vital as fuck. Now, that's going to be so cool to, you know, kind of see the results and discoveries, you know, that come out of all that data once it's all collected, you know, at the end of the day. Or I guess at the end of their 10 years and shit, you know. It's gonna be sad, you know, once, you know, to hear the news like the Voyager 1 has now lost its power and no longer functions. That day I'm gonna actually be kind of sad. Same with Voyager 2. I mean, it's gonna get the same thing, and it's just like, damn. Well, it's like they got their final send-off. Like honestly, like I even now I kind of feel a little sad about it, because like these are like the first things that, you know, are in Stellar, and it's like that we just kind of put out there and just like boom. And plus, oh, you can kind of see it on the model in the Universal Sandbox, but they even have that, like, little golden vinyl disc thing. You know, with all that type of shit, you know, that, like, you know, plays various different, like, Earth sounds and stuff. And I think they play, Go Johnny Go, I think it's called. Or Johnny Be Good by, Chuck Berry. I think I don't know why I was blanking on that, but I think on the vinyl I think they played the song twice, because I remember it playing twice. So when I listened to it, because you can actually listen to it on YouTube. Turned out he was sincerely ambitious and had prior convictions of fucking horses. So I guess he's like, well, can't go on horse farms anymore, so I guess I'm going to do chicken farms. Good grief. What's wrong with people?
scientists will most likely start turning some of them off, and very likely most of them, because there's just not going to be enough power. There's actually this article from NASA published back in 2019 that talks a little bit more about what devices were turned off already and why they were turned off first. Specifically, they actually turned off the heater. But even without the heater, everything seems to be operating just fine. You can find this article in the description below. But what's absolutely insane about NASA's engineering and of course the mission itself is that the scientists currently think that it might be possible to somehow operate some of these instruments past 2025 and possibly even until early 2030s, when the other problem is going to be the distance. At this point, the probes are going to be too far away for the NASA's Deep Space Network to actually be able to communicate with them. And so after 2036, it's definitely mission over. But even right now, at a distance of just over 155 astronomical units away from the Sun and from planet Earth, the probes are still able to communicate quite effectively, even though it takes approximately 2 days for the signal to reach and return from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. And that's of course because the light travels approximately 21 hours before it can reach the probe. But while it's still functioning and while it's still collecting data, it's...
Of course, rejected his broadcast, so he found a cooker chicken.
Yeah, the interstellar space and the region around the Sun that we know so little about, making both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 some of the most important space missions ever, with an absolutely incredible record of science. But, to put things in perspective, they're still really close to everything in the solar system and still far away from everything outside of the solar system. They're actually only going to reach Oort cloud in about 300 years from now. And strangely enough, it will
Aww. I was hoping to get there close enough to where we could kind of figure that shit out. Be like, alright, let's get the, once they're in the Oort cloud, turn it back on. Let's figure out what's in the Oort cloud.
30,000 years to fly through it. But after about 40,000 years, the Voyager 1 probe is going to fly approximately 1.5 light years away from the star you see right here. One of the closer stars to us, known as Gliese 445.
Ooh.
It's currently about 17 light years away from us, but it's flying toward us and the Voyager probe is slowly moving away from the solar system, so within 40,000 years, they are going to be pretty close to one another.
Oh, so it'll even be within a shorter amount of time. This star is going to eventually be like, what's up, bro? You know, if we're still around, like, that far, you know, in the future, you know, we're going to be looking at that star being like, damn, what's up, bro?
Is a bit of a relative term here. And the only other star we know of that is going to pass close to within about 1 light year is a barely known M-type star known as TYC 3135-52-1. It's not really well studied and we know very little about the star, but within 300,000 years, it is going to approach the star within about 1 light year. And so if anyone is living around the star, they might be able to capture the golden record that's currently traveling on both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 probes. As you might already know,
of course, we'll be alive. Have you ever heard of Warhammer 40k? Oh, yeah, because that's, you know, gonna happen.
Scientists back in the 70s, with the participation from the iconic Carl Sagan, that also includes the map to the solar system using the known pulsars, along with some other interesting stuff that you can learn more about in some of the previous videos. And so, in that sense, well, we're coming closer and closer to that end of the mission, but still not there yet. And when it comes to this particular anomaly, currently the scientists believe that they will probably be able to find some kind of a software solution to this, or possibly use one of the redundant hardware systems that is still active and still works just fine. In other words, even though the probe is sending strange signals, they're not unexpected. They are sort of a result of being old, plus a result of being located in an extremely violent environment with quite a lot of radiation. But I guess for now, that's sort of all we know about the probes. We'll definitely come back and talk more about this once there are some updates, or once the probes discover something else unusual, like they did a few years ago when there is a video about this on the channel that you can explore yourself. For now though, that's pretty much it. These are super important missions, and every single year now, scientists are going to be collecting even more data just to get as much as they can from them. We're not going to have an interstellar probe for a very long time, if ever. And so every little bit coming from them
is don't do me like that.
Super important. But I guess until we learn more, thank you for watching, subscribe, maybe share.
I always love learning some more shit about the Voyager crafts because, I mean, you know, it shows that, especially if, you know, like, if they're actually kind of working as expected and shit so far, I mean, especially with the tech back then, I mean, with the tech now, I mean, you know, shit, I mean, it's possible. You know, it's possible to get into Stellar, you know, I guess, once more. Or I guess further, you know, to Stellar and shit. with some crafts that could actually, you know, that are maybe some probes that may be more built based strictly, you know, to go interstellar and stuff, you know, and maybe like, you know, see if we can. I mean, honestly, that is a possibility where we could potentially, you know, like have a probe, you know, once it's interstellar, like, you know, use some ion engines or some shit like that, you know, to just like go straight to the Oort cloud and study that shit a little bit. I mean, it'd take a long time, of course, you know, honestly thinking about it, but nonetheless, I mean, you know, we can, like, these things could be possible. As Ro Jogan, before he went shit, you know, once said, it's entirely possible. Oh, Oort your cloud. Oh my god. I keep getting recommended this Vosh Pit video. What the fuck is it? Christian Walker is annoying. And it's just straight up, like, it's honestly just, like, very, really, like, I mean, not, like, really in a good way, eye-catching. Straight as homophobe, gay as progressive. I don't even know what that means, honestly. Once I got it there, you gotta let me hit that bong. Dude, shit hits rough. I'll make sure it's, like, nice and, you know, decent, clean stuff for that, too. Here, you know what, let's see it. Well, I'll bite this. Be one of the rare Vosh videos that I watch.
Alright, let's do it. Okay.
You know, honestly, it took me a while, but I didn't realize he cut his hair. You should have kept it long.
So, Christian Walker is an influencer.
You should go with mullet, honestly. Because I've been noticing, at least around here, the mullet's been kind of coming back in style a little bit.
And he's the gayest human who've ever lived. I'll provide evidence for that point shortly. Anyway, he's one of those, like,
I like how just blunt he was about that.
Here, where's that tweet? Come on. Where's the tweet? Not that one. We'll get to that one. Pride Month is... I need to read this in, like, his voice. Pride Month is starting, so I'd like to announce to everyone that I'm not gay.
If you have to do that, you're gay.
Refuse to identify with the rainbow cult. I don't believe in indoctrinating children. My whole identity isn't my sexuality, and I don't go to gay bars. Don't call me gay. Now, of course, the funny thing here is that this guy projects his sexuality more aggressively than the most flamboyant Pride Festival. Like getting it, like if there was like a Geiger counter for like homosexuality, walking by this guy would like max out the charts. So going by like West Hollywood Pride Parade would maybe like 3/4 it, you know. Anyway, here's a video of him doing the standard conservative thing, but I want to
This shit is more associated with country music at this point. Is it really? At least the people I've seen rock it, they don't strike me as like, I listen to F-154, I broke up my wife, country music, that's on the radio. Yeah, my boy, that's right. I let my dog cuddle me at night because I cry in his lap when I go to bed after I have my 12 Bud Light. I mean, you know, it's just like, I don't know, like, I mean, I at least the people around here that I've seen it, I don't know. I haven't really seen it, like, you know, rocking on just outright country types and shit. I mean, a little bit, you know, like, honestly, like some shitty mullets, but what I'm talking about are, like, you know, legit, like, you know, nice cut mullets and stuff. Like, you know, where it's purposely done and shit, where it's, like, you know, the front's actually, like, kind of nice and, you know, trimmed out pretty good, and the back is all nice and good and shit. Because, actually, one of my coworkers, some of his nephews came in, and one of them legit, like, had dead-ass, like, kind of a rockin' fucking mullet. And I was just like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, he's probably, like, I don't know what his age is, but he's probably, like, 11 or something. But it's just like, this kid's rocking, like, the most fucking rockin' mullet I've seen in a while. Like, what in the fuck? And he's definitely not, like, you know, some country kid. You know, so... I don't know, like, at least, you know, around here, not necessarily. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe on a more broader level, but, I mean, I don't know. I mean, just, from my experience, I mean, it hasn't really been the case.
Okay. Well, it literally, basically, it's like, it's standard pick-me shit, right? Like, obviously he's gay. This dude rails dicks. It's great. No judge. No judge. For being a bottom, not for being gay. Like, you know, huge dick lover here. But you know, he has to like break in the conservative.
Why is he in front of a trans flag too? This is what I'm wondering.
So, the thing is, like, there's always going to be like a limited outcome for stuff like this, because no matter how much he like plays into the conservative dialogue, conservatives will still look at him and think he's a degenerate. You know, it's like Blair White, like Blair
or
White,
Milo Yiannopoulos, or Dave Rubin. Or Candace Owens, or just like pretty much like all their token minority guys or gals that they throw at everybody.
Makes a lot of money for what she does. Like, she's never going to get anything more from her audience than thinking she's like one of the less delusional men who thinks that he's a woman. You know? Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos tried this as well with like varying, and then now Milo has to fake this whole like reformed gay. Actually, I did conversion therapy.
And now he's actually unironically on like some sort of like Catholic show, literally doing like TV promo sales and shit. Like, you know, those like 30-minute ad infomercials you'll see at like 3 in the morning on like Christian TV. Unironically, that's the equivalent of what he's doing. I'm not even kidding. I think there's actually a Demon Mama clip. You know what? Here, hold on. We'll see if we can find it here real quick. We'll check it out after this. Demon Mama. Because I know she actually uploaded one recently. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, 9 days ago. He's still doing it.
You can do is sit back and laugh. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, I want to see. I don't think I've heard of Christian Walker, so I want to see this dork first. Like, what the fuck is he doing here? What is going on with this?
Political content, but rather for how flaming it is. Okay.
Honey bun, why do you need a month to celebrate?
Holy
oh
shit.
My god, gayer than gay. Holy shit, that is, oh my god, even for me, that is like the most gayest fucking thing that I've just experienced. What the, oh my god. That, like, I'm not even trying to say that in a bad way. Like, that was a straight up gay as fuck. Oh my god. Wow, wait. Wait, is this person actually supposed to be like some conservative type? Is like, I'm not gay. Oh, can we just wind that back? Because Jesus Christ, that unironically was the gayest thing that I've just heard.
Okay.
Honey bun, why do you need a month to celebrate?
Oh my god, that is just like outright that is like militantly gay. Like, holy shit. Oh my god. This person is like, hey, I'm not gay. I don't go to gay bars, honey bun. Yeah, you do. Baby, bitch, yeah, you do. Like, yo, you, like, what the fuck? I don't even want to try to out-gay him. Dude, there's no way to out-gay this person at all. Wow, that was like, holy shit. That was like some militant gay right there. Oh my god. Holy shit. Woo, I have to like take a step back from that one. Damn. What the fuck? So honey bun, why do you need a Pride Month? Even though I'm like the most aggressively like gay person to exist. It's just like, what is it, dude? Is this person like a walking like oxymoron to like the most extreme? What is? Oh my god! I'm gonna have fun exploring this.
It's been a whole 12 hours since I watched this video, and immediately, this is the. I'm trying to think. This is like the gay male bottom version of presenting. You know what I mean? Like this is like peacocks, like wiggling their feathers.
Oh my god! Honestly, it is like, I'm not even gonna lie. There was like some primal like sexual urge to be like, damn, okay, what, you want to like, you know, get like heavily bred or some shit? So like, cause goddamn, like that energy is like militantly like aggressive. It's like, holy shit.
It's not acceptable for children to watch. He's doing this in public? Jesus.
Celebrate who you sleep with? Newsflash, nobody cares. You have all your rights, now shut up. You take a Pride Month out to run around the streets with no clothes on and hook up in public, and then you want to run around crying, oh, I'm so impressed, no one likes.
Oh my god, oh my god, yo. Dude. What the, okay, I'm having some mixed fucking messages in my brain, dude. Like, alright, let's just get the good out of the way. Like, hardcore, like, this person's asking to get fucked. This person's begging for a fuck. Like, just begging for it. Like, they are just begging so hard. Oh my god, this is, oh holy shit, this is like even, oh my god, like, I'm biased, fuck, male preferred, but holy shit, even this is okay for me, oh my god. Holy shit. Like, oh my god. Like, this is like the aggressive power bottom. I unironically know a quote few straight guys like this. Oh, straight, huh? Oh my god. Oh, wow. Damn. I'm actually glad he's pausing, and because I have to pause a little bit and kind of like absorb it a little bit still, like. It was like, the Katyusha rockets, launching into Berlin before the fucking Red Army assault, dude. I really support my gay side. Yeah. Well, I guess, it's pretty much the same reason for me. But either way. But the bad part, at least, let's get to that, at least. When it comes to this shit, like... this person's just, like, crying and whining about, like, oh my god, you got your rights and blah, 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 and all this shit, and yet, it's like, what, you don't think there's, like, people who will literally look at this person and just like, well, you look like and act like kind of a fucking quick Vegas, so I'm gonna lynch you, they're gonna do all that bullshit. When they see this type of person, especially the way they're, with the way they present themselves and shit. So it's just like, like hella gay, and just, like, oh, you got your rights, quit crying, and yet, that's being subverted in various different states and potentially federally as well, in the coming future. And it's like, oh, well, why are you crying about it? Well, I, like, flexibly peacock my power bottomness where my pussy must be heavily bred, by some bear or some shit, because Jesus Christ, it makes messages out, son of a bitch, man. Oh my god. What the fuck?
Oh my god. So practiced.
And then you want to run around crying, oh, I'm so impressed.
That is practice, dude. Yeah, he's right. Oh my god, that's straight up. Why did he replay that? Jesus, the mixed messages, man.
Saying right now comes across as like kind of a joke, but like he does realize this behavior is pushing sexuality in other people's faces, right?
Yeah.
Like, even by my fairly progressive standard for giving people leeway with their behavior, if any human was acting like this in public, I would think like, all right, tone it down, queen.
Yeah, like, tone it down. Seriously, because even I'm sitting here feeling like I'm being bombarded, bro. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here from a distance.
Sometimes. You
it's
see
like,
somebody acting
whoa.
like this in public, and I'm thinking like, okay, we know. Yeah, we know. Thank you. It reminds me, he went to Hassan's house. They raided guys. He raided me, by the way. He said I looked like a white supremacist, which was funny. But they were talking about a Christian here being gay as hell. And at one point, I think Hassan like asks if he's a pitcher. Does he say pitcher or catcher? That's such a straight way of asking, because Hassan's like the most heterosexual guy in the entire online left space. I swear. But something like that.
Nah, he's got some tendencies. He's like a quarter. He's like 20% gay, bro. He's got some tendencies.
The funniest thing about that to me is the fact that Hassan even had to ask. Like, I would never ask Christian Walker ever if he was a top or a bottom. Like, why would you even need to?
He's literally nothing but aggressive power bottom. Like a militant power bottom.
Or clarify that. I don't know. It was just funny. He's wearing like skin tight jeans here, man.
Oh my god, dude! Like his legs look like twigs. Like I could pick my teeth with that. I say this dude's at least 40. No, this dude's like 1,000%. No, like 20% it was Hassan Piker. But like for fucking this guy Christian Walker, no, it's like 1,000% gay, bro. 1,000%.
the hatred discuss his father. I don't know anything about this guy's father or his relationship to his father. He could just be annoying. He's a gay guy. He could just be annoying.
Yeah, he's kind of like one of those unironically, like stereotypically, like kind of flamboyant, annoying gay types and shit, which don't really exist outside of, I guess, this weird dork.
Making here though,
he's the exception. Like he's the one that he's the stereotype.
Just like, and I'm telling you, from a conservative perspective, right? This guy, let's say you've got this guy, Christian Walker, okay? And he doesn't want to be a conservative influencer. He wants to be a teacher. Do you think conservatives would be okay with this guy acting this way in front of children?
Nope.
Not even talking about anything sexual, like total, like regular lesson plans, you know? No shot, right?
It's like, listen, honey bun children's, all right, we're going to be studying ourselves some history class, all right, everybody? And you're like, nope. Not even a chance.
He's got a little cock and balls branded on his forehead, you know? There's no getting out of it. Like, at least Blair White has the cover of, like, passing as a cis woman. So, like, unless somebody was told Blair White is trans, like Blair White, like, you know, Blair White can just like pass as like a, you know, like a just like a regular, like conservatives wouldn't target her unless they were told, like, yeah, she's trans. This motherfucker cannot pass as straight at 100 meters. Okay, you can capture this guy's silhouette across the board front from like 1,000 feet away and know instantly, like, oh yeah, that dude loves dick. There's no chance. Anyway, let's just finish.
Well, stop pushing it in everybody's face.
Like that.
Like you are?
The truth of the matter is, you want everyone to care because you need attention. It's
like you.
We can barely
current year
afford gas in America. Nobody has.
People report.
We can't even afford gas in America. It's like, yeah, I'm sure you want to, like, you know, some extra gas, you know, to power up your nights a little extra longer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Butter here is like $850 or something. It's like, yeah, it's like a designer sweater that looks like shit, by the way. It looks like shit. Isn't it? He's gay. Why is he?
Why? Yeah, what is this sweater? I don't even know or care. Like, what does it even say? Man, he's free. He's making me throw out my flamboyancy. Given, what? Givenchy? Givenchy, what? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Like, I want to say, like, crunchy, because, like, the NCHY makes me think, like, inchy. But the... what fucking garbage trash is that? Like, honestly. Like, I'm not even... unironically. What fucking trash is that?
Looks like a... He looks like a Mr. Fantastic action figure with this...
That's an assault to Mr. Fantastic.
Weird...
has the time to run around worrying about what you do and policing your actions. Get over your insecurities and leave everyone alone.
Speak for yourself, babe.
You can see, right? Okay, but like, do you not get the feeling from this guy that like this is like bratty sub behavior, right?
No, it literally is. It's like it's like a militantly aggressive power bottom behavior. Yes, absolutely. Who's a bratty little bitch.
Tweet towards him was, I think it's funny that this guy's running the gay shut up grift when he is the loudest human on earth when it comes to being gay and a bratty sub or something. Yeah. Which, like, obviously, right? And the fact that he would quote tweet me and essentially say, I'm too old for you, like, I'm right. I fucking nailed him, dude. Not in the way he likes me nailed, but yeah, I fucking got him. That's his rebuke. Yeah. This is sexual role play. This is kink in public, okay? This is like he's acting like a brat. I think
man. Honestly, I thought Ben Shapiro was kind of a twink, but God, man, like Ben Shapiro legit just got like the biggest run of his money ever. Oh my, like, honestly, I'm actually kind of shocked there's somebody who's actually kind of, like, more gayer than Milo. Because it's kind of sad and funny that he's still doing this type of shit. You know, let me just kind of skip to where I know she's probably gonna get into it. Oh, this is not gonna give me, like... Oh, okay, here we go. Oh my god, look... Oh, alright, hold on, all right, wait, here we go. Oh my god, yeah, see what I mean? Look at this, what the fuck is this? What in the fuck is going on here? Why is that there?
By comparison, Salty was super good. Oh, and VeggieTales is wholesome as hell. I did watch Salty. I saw Salty live. That's right.
I'll talk about, like, other religious shows that... I mean, VeggieTales actually, like, outside of the religious bullshit, like, I guess there's memes, you know, it's kind of, you know, like, ascended to some memedom, and I guess there's some stuff that's actually okay. I mean, whatever, I mean, I hate the fucking theme song, though, it's garbage. Always hated it, like, even as a kid, whenever it popped up, I would literally be like, I'd just be like, I hate this theme song. I want to see, what was this thing? Oh, there it is.
Salty.
What the
Get
fuck?
it? He's a book of Psalms. Salty. Get it?
Oh, you know, I remember DFAT Fried actually, I think, did an episode about some crazy weird religious shit, like Christian shit, and this is like was one of the things that he went into. Oh, I think it was the fucking weird TV shows and shit. Oh my god, I remember this. Oh my god, this fucking thing. Oh god, Jesus. Okay, okay.
It's quite lavish, isn't it? It's quite lavish. It has so much deep.
In the scale of my life, that is not.
It's so lavish. It's so like deep. Oh my god.
Gary,
I'm very sorry for you.
For the money you're paying. To be honest, you know, and I have such success with people coming back. And we just love it, you know, and we.
Wait, you mean the sexiest book of the Bible? Wrong! The sexiest book of the Bible is Song of Solomon.
We have a lot in the.
I think he had a lot of.
Wait, did I just miss something? Hold on, let's try this again.
You know, and I have. I
have
success with people coming back and saying we just love it, you know, and we have a lot in the Berenice line. That's what all our statues are because they're just the best.
And I notice also as
wow, you sold me.
Statues, and as with so many of the other statues you can find on the website. And
the fuck is going on with Milo's hair? Hold on, we gotta like assess this. Hold on, we gotta like maximize this quality. We gotta like, oh sweet, what in the actual fuck is his hair? What the fuck is going on there? What the fuck is happening? What is going on? What is going on? What is that weird, like, goldfish tail? What is that, like, fish tail on his head? What the fuck is this? By the way, by the way, before anyone says, I do not qualify that as a mullet. I'm just going to say that right now. Because there's no business in the front, party and back. This is all, like, just insane. And this is just like, I'm gone batshit insane and I don't know what to do with my life anymore here. Because, what in the fuck is going on? I'm trying to, like, assess, like, what's with all these weird, like, fucking stranglets of like solar radiation flares that are like, you know, frolicking off his hair. Like it looks like fucking stringy fungus or some shit. Like, what is going on? What the fuck? What in the fuck is going on with that? I'm honestly like kind of in awe.
Mary statues, and as with so many of the other statues you can find on the website and in the store here at Church Militant HQ, the faces are good on these, aren't they?
Yes.
They've really put such close and careful attention to making sure there's
such careful attention and detail to the face of Jesus. Oh, yes. I like to sometimes think about him in my sleep. Yes.
The Beatitude. You know, it's very...
This trying to sound so posh and intelligent. It's not working.
It's very calming and
It's something you can look
It's
at
very
it
calming.
Yeah.
and that's important. Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed also
that's
here
important,
it's got that...
Wait. Okay, this is a really minor nitpick.
Damn, still going strong. Dude, look at what... You know Mario Yiannopoulos, right? Like he's doing fucking like Christian like infomercials. Dude, look, honestly, man, look at his fucking hair, dude. Look at it. Like, what the fuck is going on there? And by the way, that's not a mullet. I'm just gonna let you know right now. That's like, I'm insane and I've lost any care or whim about, like, you know, what I'm doing with my life hair. Like, that's literally what it is. Because it's short hair in the front, and it's got, like, some weird, like, goldfish fungus growth, you know, for hair that he's, like, clamped up with, like, some sort of hair clamp. See, like, I mean... So, I don't know, I deadass don't know what the fuck is going on there. But it just looks insane. This dude, is he even relevant? No, because look, he's literally doing Christian infomercials.
Really struggling to sell these Christian things, but it's kind of weird to say that you can, like,
He's doing it for Christian Militant, which is obviously like a Christo-fascist religious church organization.
To it, when her earlier sales point was that you can't imagine the pain that Jesus went to. So how the fuck do you connect with him if you literally
Team
can't
up
imagine
Sargon.
the pain that he went through?
Well, Sargon goes after the incel crowd. So he goes after a different crowd.
Of aged bronze, as though it were one of those big statues out in the thing. They've really made an effort to make this look. It's quite an extraordinary effect. The way that they've managed to make this look like aged bronze.
Yes.
Okay.
It looked like aged bronze.
This part of his hair, straight up, just looks like egg whites.
It just looks like egg whites. Oh my god. Oh, Dios mío.
What Milo was thinking with this hairdo, I think he had it all the way until the platinum blonde tips, which unironically just looks like spare cotton or egg whites or something.
Or something, I don't know. I'm glad someone else pointed it out. I was analyzing that, you know, like, well before, because honestly, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what is that, man? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is that? Like, I mean, it literally looks like someone just, like, smushed a bunch of egg whites in his hair. It really does. It just... Oh, my God. What the fuck, man? Man, dude, this dude, like, I think at this point he's not just doing, like, some coke and shit, but he's probably, like, on the side, probably legit doing some horse, dude. He's doing some H, man. Dude, there's no way.
And I don't get it. This part looks good. I can even dig the weird fucking joke.
Oh, come on, don't be that charitable.
Dirt shit. But the blonde tips is a little much.
And I have aged bronze, in the house.
Aged bronze.
Sometimes the metal doesn't quite look as nice, particularly in photographs. If you're somebody who likes to take photographs of your sacred objects and and things you have that are blessed in the house, sometimes these look a bit better than the metal ones because they've done all this lovely detail and sort of
See, that's good sales right there. Oh yeah. These are. It's not fake. It's not cheap plastic. It looks better than metal. See, this is why I say Milo is a good salesman. He always sells the negatives. He goes, no. It's not unfortunately made of resin. It is resin. It's light. You can carry it with you on the plane. You can. It looks better in photos than metal. Salesmanship.
Aged it.
Just like a snaky, oily, slimy used car salesman. Yeah, just right out of the handbook.
I'm glad you pointed this out to me.
I'm glad you pointed this out to me. Oh, yes, God, yes. Oh my God, I like how he's just trying to sound so intellectual about it.
Oh, Sparkle Cat!
You've been around these things a lot longer than me in the store here.
It's fun.
It's lovely. Now, the treat for you. I'm going to move on to... Is this your favorite item that we have?
It is one of my favorite items.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, oh my God, he's trying to be all like, is this not one of your favorite items? Dude, he's trying to be all serious and be like, alright, now for the serious items, yeah, gosh.
Oh, no, Deb! He set you up! Is this your favorite item? Well, it's one of my favorite items. No! You're selling it! No! You say, yes, this is my favorite item! What are you talking about? Oh, God damn it, Deb. Constantly.
Tell us about it.
Well, I'm a revert into Catholicism. And,
Michelangelo Pieta.
my background, I was from...
Cold cast polyresin in bronze!
In bronze?
Literally plastic painted the color of bronze. The Michelangelo fake Pieta.
And honestly, like that $88 price tag I'm seeing right there would be worth that actual bronze one. A real one. A real bronze. Yes.
Colored bronze. Oh.
What fucking snake oils, dude. Wow. Honestly, like, I mean, they might be irrelevant as fuck, but goddamn, is it fun to just laugh at this shit? Just because this is so fucking tacky and ridiculous, dude. I mean, I know that, like, she has some of her shit in the way, like her chat and stuff, but my God, look at this. Get, like, church militant. Oh, you could, like, order, or, like, you could call them. Oh, my God. It's, like, what is it? 866-738-1207? Oh, my God. Dude, I gotta call in. Churchmilitant.shop. Oh, my God. They got Gab and Facebook and a Twitter. Oh, my God. Dude, wow. Oh, my. Dude, this is just, like, tacky infomercial shit if I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh, my God. These listeners need to get on my level. They're being undermined by the globalists. They need to get on my level. The globalists are bringing us down.
I love it! I fucking love the jargon! Cold cast polyresin in bronze, as in not cast in bronze, but rather it's in the color bronze. Do you see this? Oh my God. This is why we watch this, folks. This is why. And yes, $87.50. They couldn't even give you the $50 off, 50 cents off.
I know, seriously.
But it was the Church of...
Nisrathi points out this is as expensive as a silicone monster cock. No, not just, this isn't just as expensive as a silicone monster cock. This is as expensive as an insertable, strap-on, wearable monster cock. Don't ask me why I know that price. Let's continue.
I think I know the answer to why she knows that price. Because, oh my God, dude, what the fuck? Peter Popoff. Wait, who is this? German-born American televangelist and debunked. Oh, I've heard of this guy. Why the fuck are this country's laws so friendly to grifters? Because it was born and founded on snake oil salesmen and fucking aristocrats and grifty fucks.
was about
I mean, that's why.
And so when I came back in, I wanted.
I mean, hell, the first people that settled here were actually getting away from like a lot of the progressivism that was going on in Europe and shit. It was a lot of the moral Puritans and the religious prudes that were coming over here first. I mean, so in a lot of ways, I mean, they kind of had power here before, America even officially set up shop.
To know. I'd never really heard of Pieta, and I wanted to know more about it because, excuse me, when you look at the statue, it's like, what exactly is that? So I did research, and I looked at what it was all about. And when you bring the story into what's happening, I'm very sorry, but
oh my God, dude, she is just like sad and just like, yeah, dude, she cannot sell a thing, bro. At least Milo was pretending to be like some posh buck, that's all like, yes, I'm gonna be this sleazy snake oil salesman for this. She's just kind of like the grandma that will just kind of like talk about her nice little ornaments she has in her room for decorations.
If it's actually cast, then no. 2-part resin is actually relatively expensive right now since COVID and the supply line issues, just for the record. Ooh. But what is it actually? We'll never know, will we?
I'm better. It is so moving. I am a mother, so I know
it's so moving.
When my son is hurting or has hard times, it's...
He's dead. He's fucking dead. He's not hurting. He's fucking dead.
Yeah, he got yeeted, bro. Fam, my boy be yeeted.
Wait, the Pietas is about when Mary had to carry her dead son. He's dead. He's not hurting. He's fucking dead.
He dead,
man. What are you talking about, Deb?
Murked.
Part of my heart, and you feel that, and so the fact is that this is Mary, and this is when
the ultimate dead, the ultimate hurt,
the ultimate hurt.
Come down and his dead body is laid into her lap, and this is what this is all about.
It's the apex of heartbreak in the biblical
story. Sukov, you have something stuck to your tail.
One just can't even imagine.
Sukov, come here. You have something. Come here.
Of having...
Come here, you have something stuck on you.
See your own son
in
that way. Most people will, at some point in their life, experience that with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're estranged or whatever. At some point, most people will have that terrible experience with their parents.
Come here.
I wasn't there when my father passed, but I was in the room when my grandmother passed, who pretty much raised me. And
you have wood everywhere.
Although it's a very different kind of dynamic,
silly
just
thing.
The closeness of that, it's one of those.
It's family.
It's the moment that can shape the rest.
It's family. That's what Deb's great takeaway. We're discussing a replica, of course, of one of the.
It's family. It's when your son is dead and you have to mourn him and carry him away. It's just like, that's what family is. It's just like, oh my God, dude. Dude, like, honestly, I do kind of find it a little curious and funny how, this is like what some of these weird religious grifter snake oil greasy fucks do and shit. It's kind of funny to see, like, the bottom of the barrel as much as, like, the most, like, charismatic of them. Because it's just kind of interesting what people will fall for. Because even for, like, because they're still, like... Because if there's people who are gullible enough to, like, fall for this shit... I mean, it kind of makes it real. It makes you kind of realize how how easy it is for people to kind of fall for the more charismatic shit as well. And I mean, even more so, because if there's like that many gullible dupes who are willing to buy that shit, then there's people who are willing to be flowered up with enough flowery words and shit to eventually to like kind of be up into the top. I mean, it's all a grift, right?
And
honestly, it's just like, funny enough, I mean, because Demon Mom was actually kind of right. Milo's actually being a good salesman about it. Deb's just lame. She's like she's unironically kind of like my grandma who would just be telling me about different ornaments or different religious things that she just kind of has and shit, and just like talk about Jesus, and it's like, oh my god, please, I don't really want to talk about this. I want to blow my brains out of Minecraft and Roblox himself in 8,000 ways, but because I'm nice, I will let you talk about it with me. I'll pretend I'm agnostic. What?
The Furious.
No audio? Oh, there we
Jesus
go.
Christ. But, you know, it's family, right, guys?
Your life. You can realize I've got to fix some things. I've got to take better care of the people who I have now. You know, I've got to make sure that everything that she did for me and everything that she told me that I do.
Jesus is a part of the Fast and Furious family, of course.
And so that's the closest reference
Come on,
point
you even
I
have to ask.
As a guy who doesn't have kids yet. That's the closest reference.
That doesn't have kids yet? What the fuck does that even mean? Oh my god, that's just a fucking insecurity push right there. It's like, look, I'm straight, believe it, people. It's like he literally still lives with his, quote, ex-husband. Like, he's, yeah, he's still gay. He never de-gayed himself.
Through the statue itself of this moment, it's also, I think non-Catholics will sometimes ask, well, why don't you have something uplifting in the house? Why don't you have something inspiring? Why must it be an image or a statue of such a moment of heartbreak?
Oh, okay. Listen. So, what you just heard, you will not know this unless you're a Christian. Unless you're a fucking Christian, you won't realize Catholics and Protestants make fun of each other all the time.
Yep.
And one of the things that Catholics get made fun of all the time for is being depressing. Because Catholics have images of people dying and getting tortured. They have dead bodies everywhere. Catholicism really is a very grim religion.
And also a lot of fucking child pedophilia and like fucking child trafficking and shit like that. So yeah, you know, very grim, dark, and fucking frankly, you know, if evil is the thing, that it would be that.
A lot of ways. It's very, I mean, it has Dark Souls energy. Let's just put it that way, okay?
Dark Souls energy. You know what? That is a good way to put it.
Relics, dead bodies. They keep corpses in their basement. All kinds of wild shit.
And then they do things like they do weird fucking crazy fucking creepy shit like that, and frankly the one time I was there was honestly borderline traumatic, being at a fucking Catholic church with one of their cult ceremonies, like, because ironically that was pretty much like one of the random jibble jabble things. Like, I'm pretty sure what I was doing was gibberish. Zukov, hey, no, come here, buddy, come here. But I mean, it was pretty much the equivalent of that.
Catholics all the time for saying, why are you so grim and dark? What you're hearing right now is Catholics being sensitive about getting made fun of. Listen to it back. I'm telling you. Listen.
Well, why don't you have something uplifting in the house? Why don't you have something inspiring? Why must it be an image or
now you know.
Statue?
Now you know. Now you have the knowledge.
Moment of heartbreak. Maybe you could help you saying, because there are going to be people at home who are like, I must have this. Like, this is right up my street. And there are going to be people at home who don't understand perhaps why you might have this.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason I have it is because it's part of my shrine, my small little shrine.
Polare says, yes, my friend who's non-Christian wanted to go to all the cathedrals when we went to Portugal, and I warned her she's going to see a lot of suffering Jesuses. My God, it was more dead Jesus than even I expected. Death imagery, death masks. There are churches that display the skulls of saints and the teeth and fingers of saints.
Yeah, they do.
Catholicism
is fucking
some dark
crazy.
ass shit at times, and so Protestants who tend to focus on the more positive, I say that in quotes, they tend to focus on the more positive aspects of Christianity.
I know.
Always make fun of Catholics.
I already knew that.
And a lot of
I already knew
Catholics
it
are
was
super
him.
insecure about it.
At my house.
And
I love to reflect on the crucifix and what it means, and then to come to this,
of course.
because this
Tuesday and
is what
Wednesday.
happened immediately
Gonna be
afterwards.
busy though.
And
well,
the feeling
I don't know, I'll
that
see.
you know, she had to feel hopeless. It's like, you know, she
I kind of want to take a break
saw
for a bit because
the
I've drank pretty.
that Christ that her
Sorry.
son went through. She watched.
I don't know, I might have one or
till
two, but
till his last
not a lot.
breath.
Well, I'm not
and now they bring him down and put him on her lap, and she's. Everyone would be mortified, you know, and in the realness of that, the realness of a real person like you and I experiencing this.
Make Milo talk again. Deb, shut up. Make Milo speak. Let Milo sell this.
It's just.
She's literally lulling me
Yet it really happened.
to
And it
sleep.
helps to make the story.
There we go.
The stories in the Bible, the history of that, and everything that it has created in the beautiful faith that we now follow, more visceral and more.
I mean, he's been doing this for a while with this lady. It's like, you think she would take some hints and tips from him at this point. You think, you know, she would at least, you know, kind of emulate this a little bit. Because at least he's being a better sleazy Snicko salesman with this.
The Church of Nice earlier on. They like some bits of the story, but they shy away from the rest.
Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub, Mads. Deeply appreciated.
I mean, it's just like, oh my goodness. It's just so weird how they're all, like, they also are selling this weird, like, you know, more or less, like, kind of a tragic thing, and, you know, especially with Catholicism being grim and dark and fucked as it is and shit. I mean, it's like, it kind of shows how much, you know, despite that, even they will try to flower her up into, like, you know, something that's, like, actually good or some shit. Instead of, like, you know, just focusing on the, quote, all positives, like, you know, Damon was mentioning, you know, they just basically, you know, will look at the grimness and look how good, you know, and blah, 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 this, you know, type of stuff is and all. So, you know, it's just like, I mean, it's kind of the same shit, just, you know, from a different cloth, you know, cut from a different, you know, piece of the cloth, essentially. I mean, it's just like, ugh, freaky shit, man. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all fucking greasy-ass, grifty, Snicko salesmen, fucking, like, cultists, like, at this rate, especially with, you know, Milo and his little sad ilk, and Deb, you gotta get some practice. You gotta get some practice there, lady. I mean, because it's not the first time I've seen, you know, this duo, you know, do their thing a little bit, because honestly, I kind of like to tune in from them from time to time, because it's kind of funny to watch them be sad little grifters. Even though, like, even Alex Jones, you know, even to this day, could still do a better grift than them. Even though he's pretty much fucked at this point. And probably for good reason. Took off his sweet bye-bye. He has something stuck on his tail earlier, too. He had, like, a weird slinky thing stuck, and I was just like, what the fuck, bro?
I have a new Gmail, that's probably why.
I show it out on the wall? Oh.
Well, just do it over Facebook.
A random thing?
Alright, I'll be later. Alright. I'll be later. My dad loves me.
So random.
Huh?
It's random.
This is my dad lives in Oklahoma. My street dad.
Huh?
My street dad.
Huh.
Send me $40.
Yeah, he had like a little something stuck to his not one here. But yeah, like a little something stuck to his tail a second ago. It's like this weird little like white I think like a little pipe cleaner thing. Just had like somehow wrapped around his tail, and it was just like just wandering around with it. I'm like, what in the fuck, dog?
You haven't tried it with a mud on it yet.
Yeah, I have once.
But this is a clean filter. Clean flavor, huh?
Yeah, it's actually a nice little bit. It's like a berry
It's
something?
just a mod.
Is it like a berry or a...
No, it's my rainbow.
Oh, the rainbow one. Oh.
The one that you have is berry. Oh, hold on.
Whoa.
I'm gonna start making a tradition when you're on your fucking.
It's just like
on your
the
stream.
fog it up.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Gotta make sure that's not clogged. That'd be actually nice. Well, all in all, I'm actually been going on for a little while now, so make this the last little bowl and wrap it up for the evening. Hopefully work is, well, should be at least better tomorrow. Anyway, I gotta go for the rest of the evening, so peace out and be around.